On a very special episode of FREAKQUELS, the gang holds the intervention of the century for young Vince.
Hello! Thank you guys for being here for Vince's intervention.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
This has been a real problem.
I know.
And this has been coming.
And thank you, Dr. Max, for...
Yeah, I'm always glad to help a friend in need or also just a person.
Yeah.
Like in this case.
Well, he's no longer a person to us.
Yeah, when you see him... Oh, I think that's his car right now.
I think this car just pulled up outside.
Hey guys,
Hey, Vince.
Hey.
what's going on? Podcasting tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do something.
We're gonna podcast today, buddy.
All right, I'm in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you take a seat?
Just take a seat.
Okay,
Yeah,
right
I was
over there.
just
Sit
gonna
down.
grab something. I gotta go. I got
No,
things to do,
man.
but-
Just take a seat.
No, sit down.
Honestly, we had some other people that were gonna come and sit down for this, but honestly, we couldn't find a single person that loved you.
Oh,
Yeah, your family opted out.
Yeah, your kids said hard pass.
It was honestly
Yeah.
tough to hear.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. We were just like, oh, okay. So we figured we would sit down with you to have a talk with you.
okay.
A serious talk. This is Dr. Max.
All right. Hey,
And-
hi, Max.
Not a doctor.
Doctor
but
Max.
Sure.
Like Dr. Pepper is a doctor.
You know
writes
what?
for-
That's
he-
actually a great way of putting it.
Okay.
That's a great way
He
of
writes
putting
prescriptions, but doesn't actually have a legal
Right.
Okay.
claim to do so.
it. Yeah.
What's up, Max?
How's it going?
How you doing?
But anyway, we wanted to just maybe talk to you a little bit about what your life's been like the last couple of months. You've been disappearing from the show, and we think we know why.
Oh, okay. Wait, before we get started, can I grab a drink?
That's another problem.
We're tackling one issue at a time.
One issue at a time, sir.
Okay.
Okay. You say you're always doing drywall,
Yes.
right? But every time we've gone over your house, you're just sitting looking at a wall.
Yes.
And your eyes are bloodshot.
Yes.
And it smells like a skunk.
Yes.
And we just feel like
We're
Rory-
not really doing drywall. We think.
we think you're doing drugs.
Well, here's the thing. There's always drywall to do, but what I'll do is I'll smoke before the drywall, but I never actually get to the drywall. So that's how I get around constantly saying I'm doing drywall.
So you're doing tri-wall?
Drywall.
Excellent.
It's yes. There's a lot of jobs like that.
Yeah,
and that's
I get that.
an excellent way to put
That's
that.
tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
The thing is, though, I'm not really even trying, though. I never actually get the tools out or anything. I just think about it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So-
all.
we
So
just-
that's not the same thing. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hey, that's good.
Right.
Hey, we can all agree
That's
on
one step.
something.
We
I'm
You know,
accepting
one
that.
fantastic.
first
Yeah.
step has
Yeah.
been taken.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what movie were you guys doing today? Was
Well,
there
we
any-
thought maybe we would give you a little education.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
okay.
We know 420's coming,
Okay.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And we thought we would find something that you would respond to
Oh,
show you the wreckage of your life.
Yeah.
For sure.
The path that your life might take if you keep it up.
Now, EJ, you're a kind man, and you use the word might,
Right.
but I would use the word currently.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on
Currently
the
is
road.
correct.
Like,
Yeah.
we didn't, We're not waiting to get in the car. We're driving.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And we
Yes.
some might even say we're speeding.
Right.
Right.
you know?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
But yeah, we thought we would talk about a film, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Because we don't want to overwhelm you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because seriously, there's also like an alcohol thing we want to talk about later.
we'll get there.
Later.
We'll get there later.
Yeah.
We got a whole thing for it, but later.
One vice at a time.
One vice at a time.
Can I guess what this is about? Is it my gambling addiction?
I'll write that down.
Write that down,
write
please.
that down.
Okay.
It's actually. Could you underline that 3 times?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thanks. Yeah.
it's not the gambling. Something else.
No, we're gonna ease you into this whole thing. We're gonna
Yeah.
talk about something. So
Oh, well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of FREAKQUELS. I'm your host, EJ Leeson. With me today is that cutie patootie, Rory Calrossi. How are you, sir?
I'm feeling like I'm doing the Lord's work right now.
Yes, you are.
Because we've talked about doing this intervention for a while now.
Uh-huh.
You see your friend spiraling, and you gotta step in. Because God damn it, that drywall needs to get done.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I'll get there. I'm gonna get there.
I don't.
It's the same wall.
I'm gonna get to it. It's just one wall.
It's been since
I could do
September.
it. Yeah.
Dude, you used to. Your wife told me when she first met you, you were drywalling all the time.
Yes.
It was your passion.
Yeah.
You put so much of your heart into it, and now that wall, just a gaping hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
drywall is going to be a metaphor for something else. I don't know. But okay.
Yeah. And with us, of course, the man himself, young Vince, who it's a serious day for him.
It's very serious.
It's a serious. How are you, sir?
I feel attacked.
I don't know why.
I told you to put the knives away.
Oh, right.
Well, we just
Sorry.
yeah.
Just in case.
Okay. Backing me into
We
a
didn't really know
corner.
how you were going to respond to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I did bring a gun just in case, too. So I'll put that away. And then musical director, the man himself, married to one of the sequels, Mr. Max Roche.
Yeah, possibly
Dr.
married to one
Max
of the,
Roche.
well,
Yeah, Dr. Max.
again, only in the sense of Dr. Pepper. Yeah. One might say being married to a sequel is maybe my highest like credit. Like that's
Yes.
what, like it should come first on my IMDb page. Is like wife is actual well-known person who has good things to say,
Right.
and then there's me who's like here.
Right. Yeah.
That feels appropriate.
Yeah, that's pretty appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
One thing I want to compliment you all on is your choice. Interventions I've always said are best done for content.
Yes.
Oh my
Because
god.
you definitely don't want to do it privately.
No.
Where a person's deep dark secrets will never come back to bite them in the public sphere. You want that out there.
Right.
Right?
Raging
We're
Cajun.
posting this everywhere, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
The Raging Cajun said never waste a crisis.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's correct.
Your crisis is our paycheck.
That's right. But not your paycheck.
I work best in a crisis, though. So
So I work all right on that. Yeah. All right, let's get into recent movies that we've watched before we like really tackle the issues. here.
yeah.
Roy, do you want to start us off?
Sure. It not much has changed since the last episode. Knee deep in Twin Peaks.
Hell yeah.
It's still awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Original or the return?
yes.
You get to the return in your go through.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I just meant like currently.
Yeah, currently.
Like, yeah.
It's wonderful.
Love it.
So because of that, I drifted into I don't know if you saw this or not, but it's a documentary on David Lynch. Did you ever
No, I
see it?
didn't see it.
The Art Life. Did you see that?
No.
Okay. Watch it. It's actually a Criterion that you can buy. Vince,
right here and do a shot.
there you go.
Dude, shot.
Shot. No shot though.
Not you.
Can I do a shot?
No.
Are you gonna let me do a shot?
On the next
Can I
episode,
please do a shot?
we're gonna talk about that
Someone gonna
too.
let me do a shot?
I feel attacked.
But no, the Art Life is awesome because it's just basically David Lynch.
So no shot.
No shot.
No.
It's just David Lynch talking about his life and like how he kind of journeyed into being an artist, and it is fucking so inspiring.
Yeah.
Like it's like one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. So my whole life has been hijacked by David Lynch, and I'm better for it. How about you? What'd you see?
I watched a couple oldies and a couple new movies. First
I
off,
wish we had time to talk about it.
yeah. No, I rewatched Cry Baby, John Waters' film with
Awesome.
Johnny Depp. So good. I love that movie. Then I watched Hell Comes to Frogtown, starring Roddy Piper. I think that's a movie that we're gonna have to do at one point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've heard of this. This is not one that I've watched, but as soon as you said that, I was like, how has that not been an episode for this show?
Yeah.
I immediately, you might have seen my head pick up and look over at you like,
Yeah.
you just watched it?
Yeah.
Thinking, I got to scroll back through that backlog.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy. It is a Looney Tunes type movie. It's out of control. And then I watched Hell of a Summer, and it's really funny, and I definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorite movies of this year. Definitely top 5 for sure. And then I saw Screamboat, which is like the same people who made the Terrifier films,
Oh, okay.
and it's about Steamboat Willie, right? Because they got the rights.
Oh, they're doing like that Winnie the Pooh thing that they
Yeah.
did a couple years back. Yeah.
yeah.
Couldn't they have called it Steamboat Killy?
Man, see, that was good. They called it Screamboat, and I actually liked it. It's
Steamboat
weird.
Killy?
Well,
Yeah, that's man,
They
that's
didn't-
a great.
They didn't want to ruin the porn adaptation Dreamboat Willie.
I cannot wait for that one.
I know.
yeah, but,
Coming to Disney Plus.
plus.
Because people would have expected it to be Dreamboat Killy, and it would have been bad for the dick pun. But you know,
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
definitely.
it's always about setting up the next entry in the IP. Like you can't cut off the future because that's where the money is, baby.
And it was good. I actually liked it more than the other, like the Terrifier films. And Stream that came out too. I don't know. I liked it. I definitely would do that on this show for sure.
Well, this is not the kind of show that likes to hurt Art's feelings.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. Yeah.
We're gonna scrub this.
Vince's feelings,
Yeah.
though, we're gonna hurt those.
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
They are.
I'm used to it. Can't break me.
They're on the chopping block, baby.
We put calluses over your heart.
It's good.
Yeah.
Give me your best shot.
Yeah. How about you, Vince? What have you watched
Other
recently?
than that, I'm currently watching the movie we're doing tonight right now on my phone as just a little bit of so I can chime in.
When Vince smokes pot, he puts his responsibilities off to the last minute
He can't even watch the film.
that he's supposed to be talking
So
about right
to be
now.
fair, there were scenes. I want to talk about what I recently watched, but there are scenes in this movie that I went back and watched over and over and over and never act like if I sat down and watched the whole thing through.
Yeah.
Because there's parts of it that is just phenomenal, and I had to go back and rewatch it several
Really?
times. Yes.
Meanwhile, that drywall is still
It's still,
a gaping hole in the wall.
yeah.
Oh. But and then nothing else though?
No, I've also been watching Severance. Actually, I just finished Severance,
Oh.
and it was amazing. I'm still confused. I'm still putting bits and pieces together, but I think it's one of those ones that I'm gonna rewatch soon, or I'll probably do the thing when season 3 comes out. If it comes out, I'll watch
I
them
was
again.
Gonna ask
But
it if
I'm-
it was like over, if it's just like
I have no
done for
idea.
now.
Is
I don't
that
know.
you were confused?
I'm very confused.
Marijuana is known to cause confusion.
Yeah. Correct. And yeah, that's all. That's all I've seen lately. That's all I've been watching.
All right,
Okay,
awesome,
gotcha.
awesome. And Max, how about you, buddy?
Most of the films that I watch now are children's cartoons for the 3-year-old. But I did
Bluey?
get a couple of. We're a big Bluey household. She's been on a real Little Mermaid, Finding Dory, Finding Nemo, ocean movie kick lately. So that's been something, especially for somebody who thinks that the ocean is dark and full of monsters and no human being should understand its true depths and mystery.
We never will.
Anyway,
Anywho,
but
DJ, is that like that thing you watch, Blowy?
yeah,
no,
exactly.
no.
Yeah,
That's a
and
different
Free
channel.
Willy, but not that Free Willy.
Free my Willy.
Yeah, Free Willy, not that Free Willy. Yeah,
the weirdest parenthetical in any title. Free Willy. No, not that one. The other one.
the other one.
But other than that, the last couple of movies I watched, I was watching Lisa Frankenstein when Maggie came on the
Love that
show.
movie.
And after that, I had some time by myself. I decided to finally get around to watching Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, the Chris
Oh,
Pine
yeah.
one
Lots
that
of
came out
fun.
just a couple of years ago. Yeah, I was a big fan. Really enjoyed it. I only watched it one time. A friend of mine said that there's like some really cool stuff that if you watch it through a second time, kind of knowing some of the things that you know, that it's kind of a cool thing. She's gone back to watch it a few times, and I'm not as much of a Dungeons and Dragons nerd of that variety where I'm like going to consume all of the content. But I really thought it was just like a fun a movie that wasn't trying super hard to like be Lord of the Rings kind of thing, right? Like it didn't take itself so gravely seriously, but it wasn't like yuck, we're just telling jokes, right? Like it was like a movie that was trying to be a movie, but it was just trying to do its own thing and just kind of be chill. And I was like, this is great. I wish more movies would be like this, where it's not necessarily, I don't want to call it like popcorny in that like reductionist way, right? Where like Marvel movies are popcorn movies, like comic book movies, popcorn movies, action movies in some ways are popcorn movies. So, you know, I don't mean it to be like reductionist as in like there's no value in a popcorn movie, but there are so many movies now that if they are quote unquote popcorn movies, they are like entries in a series, or like they're a popcorn movie but they're trying to say something, and I'm like, it's okay, you can just be a fun movie. And this was to me just a fun movie, which I was really glad by. Like, I'm sitting there at 10 o'clock at night smoking the reefer, watching a movie, and I don't want this
Max
big
likes the
heavy
reefer
thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. It's sort of related to, I recently decided to delve into the David Lynch catalog.
Oh.
I say recently as in
Welcome
a
aboard.
couple of years ago.
Okay.
But I was so glad that I waited. It was actually what it was when we had, a newborn in the house, and I had to be awake in the middle of the night in case she woke up.
Please tell me you watched
I would be watching Twin Peaks downstairs with the baby
nice.
monitor sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And then if she would cry, I would pause the show to get up and walk up and
Turn the volume
and
up.
one of the things that
You're like the fucking mom in this movie.
one of the things that I really appreciated about it was waiting till later in my life to arrive at it.
Yeah.
It really hit me at a good time, because for so much of my life, a lot of what I did when I consumed media was try to understand it and really pick it apart and really get it. And I was so ready to just let the vibe wash over me and just chill in the pool of Twin Peaks. And that was exactly what I needed to do. If I had approached this the way that I approached anything else before the age of 28, I would have been this is the stupidest fucking thing. This not consistent. He says this and then he goes here and then blah, 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 blah. And I would have been why did anybody like this? This is stupid. They only liked this because it was the early 90s and there wasn't anything better. It's no, I would have just been straight up wrong. So I was so glad that I waited until.
Dude, it's really funny you're saying that, because right before you got here, I was telling EJ that I'm so glad that I just started watching this show at the age that I am right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would have appreciated it on the same level. And it's also nice to see something that actually inspired me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say too much about this, but you did finish the series, right?
I did not finish The Return yet. Again, I don't get a lot of time to watch it because Maggie's not into it.
You should show the
and
child.
The baby's alive. So I have limited Twin Peaks viewing time.
Yeah.
I thought when you said that you got in after the kid was born and you were watching David Lynch, I was like, oh man, it's got to be Eraserhead, because that's kind of what that whole movie's about.
I started with Twin Peaks, and then I watched Firewalk with Me before watching The Return. So the nice thing about this is that I've had everything's out now. Yeah, I can just choose what order to watch things in, and some of it I get to put chronologically in the story how it's supposed to go. So I have a friend of mine out in the. Well, she was out on the West Coast. I'm not sure where she's at now, but she used to give lectures while she was living in New York, just about Twin Peaks and David Lynch. She would go give these academic lectures.
That's awesome.
And so I was like, wow, this person sounds really cool. I'll deal with that later. And so years went by after me meeting this person where I was like, I'll get around to it. It's fine, whatever. And then I got into it. I was like, girl, you were so right. You were so right. Why did I wait this long?
It's cool that her name was great. Girl.
Yeah, right. I know. So ridiculous.
By the way, Max, I don't know if you caught that.
I saw that and I was like, I'm not going to say anything about it because it's just chilling. But yeah.
It's a keychain for the
keychain for the Great Northern.
Yeah. Because I'm a nerd.
Yeah, true.
I watched Fire Walk with Me and immediately bought the original poster.
It's so good.
Yeah, I think that's I was saying this on the one episode. Maybe one of the greatest lead performances in anything I've ever seen.
Right.
It actually sometimes I think think it and it upsets me.
Right.
I think that movie fucking rules.
Yeah.
And it's one of those films too. It came out and unanimously critics were like, fuck this movie.
Yeah,
and
no.
everybody was like, fuck this movie. And it's that instance where people just were not ready for something.
Right.
Because now it's they're like, it's actually David Lynch's masterpiece.
This was a world-shaking innovation in filmmaking technology. And we're like, yeah, sir.
Right. Yeah, it's that happens. Even Tarantino was kind of a shit about it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
he was just David Lynch's head's up his ass. I'm like, interesting coming from you. I'm editing that out.
Yeah. Just in case he wants to work with you sometime in the future.
Well, more so as fans, I'm nervous about.
Oh yeah, we are a movie review podcast after all. You gotta watch out for the Tarantino.
Yeah, they're a passionate group.
They're dedicated.
And I love Tarantino. That's the thing. I really do. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He's just very. Like he speaks with a lot of authority.
When you said "I'm just kidding" and shook your head no, why did you do that?
I thought I want to get beaten up.
How do you get 8 fingers crossed at once? How'd you do that?
You can make it happen if you want it to happen bad enough.
Through
Anyway.
God, all things are possible. Here, hello.
Jot that down.
You can write that down.
You can write that down. Yeah,
I think this Christianity thing might take off.
you might do all right.
Anyway.
But let's get into the movie we're here today to talk
Oh,
about.
not Twin Peaks.
And it's not Twin Peaks.
If you guys want to shift it over, that's all right. So, Agent Cooper, one of the greatest characters
Dale
ever.
Cooper.
I love him.
No, we're talking about Reefer Madness, the musical. This was recommended by Max because we told him about Vince's problems. And
We like
Yes,
to tell
factually, that is the order of operations, and no one can dispute this matter of historical record.
Right.
Certainly not by looking at the text messages between EJ and me,
right.
where I
exactly.
definitely wasn't the first person to text him.
Right.
Definitely.
Definitely. But when this came about, I was like, yeah, this is gonna help. This is gonna help Vince, right? Like,
You guys
right,
are
Rory?
thinking about me.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about you, man. I love you, buddy.
It's not that we were like, in a public space just making fun of your problem with a bunch of people. We weren't doing that.
Well, not
But,
only that.
Yeah. We were also making fun of the drinking problem and the gambling problem.
Yes.
But point is, we said, damn it, this is going to be the episode where we get that drywall taken care of for your wife, who's definitely not paying us to do this right now.
So wait. So this is not about the prostitution.
Add that to the list,
Add
Doctor.
that- yeah,
Dr.
write that
Pepper.
down. Dr. Max Pepper.
That's going to be your nickname. Dr. Max Pepper Roche.
I love it. That actually is a dope name.
Max Pepper?
Max
Yeah.
Pepper.
That
Yeah.
sounds like you're like
That's
a
the-
70s porn star.
I was thinking a slightly hotter than regular hot sauce that was aimed at white people as like the atomic bomb sauce, right? Like, hey, suburban dad, do you want to feel like a man again? Well, this is slightly hotter than Taco Bell hot sauce. It's Max Pepper.
I can handle that.
I can
handle that.
I eat that just fine. It's fine. I don't feel anything.
I'll put up my fucking eggs.
I don't feel anything.
And just like the drink Dr. Pepper, this doctor also has its PhD. Dr. Max Pepper.
Max Pepper coming this summer.
This summer.
No, I think that's a great name for a porn star. You should consider it.
Yeah.
If for like a secondary
I'll
career.
think about that. Yeah.
If the whole medical thing doesn't work.
Yeah,
out
no,
for
for
you,
sure.
Porn star is a
Yeah.
fantastic.
If your other two professions don't work out,
career. Which after this episode, you never
least you have
know.
a
Yeah, you
fallback.
never know.
You
Yeah.
might get a call from
true.
both bosses and
Yeah,
say,
true.
"It ain't working."
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
We're
Porn
not sure
star.
about this. Yeah, Max Pepper.
We
man.
got
And it might not
connections.
even be related to the episode.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Who
We'll
knows?
see.
Yeah, but we're talking about Reefer Madness, the musical.
Not
This-
the one that you probably think this is.
right. Which
is a
I
musical.
thought. No, it's really funny because originally I did think it was the original 1936
Me
film.
too.
And I was like,
Last
oh,
minute.
cool. I've never watched that. And then you were like,
I texted
oh, it's
you to
the
be
musical.
like, I'm watching the 1936 film for funsies because I've seen the musical a million times, but I have only seen this like twice.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, that's the one that we're watching. And I was like, oh, is it? I thought we were doing the musical. And you were like, oh, were we?
Yeah, and then I was like,
I was
oh,
like-
we could do the musical.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now,
Yeah.
fast forward to last night. EJ, are we doing the musical or are we doing like... There was a communication glitch somewhere.
Yeah.
But we got what we needed
We
to
got
do.
it. Yeah.
Did anybody else watch the propaganda film, the 1936?
I work with this guy, okay?
A long time.
I live it every
Yeah.
every Sunday.
I was just curious because we'll bring up a few things throughout the recap, but like
Right.
they do so much visually and just with the dialogue that is really like some of it is cut and pasted. Like a lot of the scenes
okay.
with May and Jack, like the dialogue is
Yeah.
cut and pasted from the 1936 with the May and Jack characters.
I do want to
Interesting.
watch
It's
it
really
now.
neat. So
yeah.
it's a 1 hour watch. Tubi has a colorized version for free that
Oh,
you
cool.
can watch. It's
Yeah.
kind of neat to watch it colorized because obviously the original was black and white, but they did, yeah. So it's neat. It was curious. The original title of the film was not Reefer Madness. It was Tell Your Children.
Oh, cool.
Which is why it's so fun to see "Tell Your Children" as like the first words on screen in the musical on that big like poster board up there. So cool.
Yeah.
So neat. A lot of little things like that are tossed in throughout the musical.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
But it was made for TV for Showtime. It was a made for TV movie. This was a made for TV movie. Is that not
the
insane?
cast of this is kind of crazy. Like I didn't know who was in this, right? And so when the movie starts and I'm like, oh, Alan Cumming is in this?
Oh, I
love Alan Cumming.
have a Cumming
Yeah.
counter. This is how many times Cumming was coming on screen.
Yeah.
In different
Oh,
costumes.
you really do have that set up.
I do
It's
have a
nice.
little tally
Nice
mark
little
because I
flow
couldn't
chart.
remember how many different little costumes he had.
And and that curious stain right below it.
That was the cum counter. So I made sure to draw a little line in between to keep it nice
Separated.
And, right. Keep
The only
you
thing
gotta
you
keep them
highlighted on the
separated,
page.
as they say.
You know what I thought was a really daring
All
choice?
natural highlight.
You know what I thought was a really daring choice for this movie? For them to go, here's Nev Campbell. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, wait, here she is again. Just a little bit.
Okay, so like I saw this movie for the first time last night. When this
Right.
movie came out, Nev Campbell shows up, and you're like, obviously she's gonna have some big part in this because she was like a huge star at the time. Nope, she's gone. She shows up and she like wows you because she's
Yeah.
awesome. Like
She's
that whole
amazing.
dance sequence is
Yeah.
like phenomenal. And then she's just like, no, by the way, take it off. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. I thought the same. I was like, whoa, Nev Campbell's in this?
I know, I
and then
got
she
real
just
excited.
disappeared. And I
She's
was like, oh,
singing,
man.
dancing.
I was so pumped about
I know.
that. Yeah.
I was like, I had my notes. I'm like, wow, Scream 7's weird.
I wish this was Scream 7.
I know.
That'd be
Why don't they
sick.
make a musical Scream?
Oh, man. They should.
Hey,
Oh, God.
I
Watch
got
your-
you like a fish.
What's your favorite scary movie?
There's so many to choose from.
What is stopping you guys from doing?
I don't know. What is
Scream the
something
musical?
Well, no, you have to write the play, and then you make a movie about the play and the people dying in the play.
Right.
All right, let's get to it right now.
Right now?
Right now?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Nev Campbell, we need you.
We need you, buddy. Well, so yeah, we'll get into
you noticed that I was very unprofessionally grabbing at my phone and typing. And staring at it.
Unprofessional typing?
So
I'm watching
wanted
the
to make sure
movie.
that I remembered this correctly, and I didn't. So I'm glad that I checked. But Christian Campbell, who plays Jimmy, is
Yeah.
Nev Campbell's brother.
Yes, sir.
And he was part of the 99 seater that they were premiering this show in before its off Broadway run out in L.A.
Oh,
So
okay.
like he was part of the original original production team for when they were doing it at this 99 seat theater in L.A. So that's where the
okay.
connection is that they her brother was part of this whole process, and she was also there, right? Like she was just coming and hanging out and doing a song.
Do you think they were like pulling him aside to like, yo, do you think we can get your sister? Well, I'll be in it, but yeah, we know.
It would be speculation to say, but like I gotta imagine that that's how that happened, right?
Yeah,
like because right, like it's not
She
like
probably
she
like
was,
drove him there, and then
Right.
like as she's standing there, they like threw a script at her head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my sister took dance. They're like,
But I couldn't
yeah.
remember which direction it went in. I didn't remember if she had been involved and that's how her brother got involved, or if he was involved and that's how she got involved. But I knew one person showed up first, and so
Okay.
I guess it was Christian who helped make the
thing
the
happen.
original be so successful.
We chose the wrong Campbell.
Damn it.
Wrong kid
Anyway.
died.
Wrong kid died.
I actually, dude, I have a Dewey Cox joke somewhere
Oh,
in my
yes.
notes. Somewhere in the
Yes.
mess of notes I
Yes.
have. There was something that happened in this movie that made me.
Dewey Cox, great porn star name.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's one of the funniest comedy movies
It's so good
of all time.
We need another one because music biopics have started to come back again. And
Yeah.
I need them to die for another decade. So we need another Walk Hard, because Walk Hard came out and everybody was like, yeah, this is kind of stupid, isn't it? This is the same movie. Every movie's the same movie.
Yeah.
It's really
ruined
dumb.
it ruined that whole rock biopic genre.
Thank God.
Because I
Thank God.
I watched that stupid not stupid, but that Bob Marley movie,
Right.
and there was literally
You mean like the 8th Bob Marley movie?
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
was thinking about the Bob Dylan movie. That's the 8th like Bob Dylan.
I like that one. No,
Right.
it was funny though because like the guy who played Bob Marley was awesome,
Right.
perfect, but there were so many scenes that were like straight
It's
out of Walk
literally
Hard.
just that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when they're in the recording studio and it's just like
yeah.
play that one song that sums up your
What
whole
is
life.
going up? Yeah.
When
Not worry.
when Weird dropped, I was like, maybe this will be the new Walk Hard, because I watched it and I was like, this is such a great like absurdist takedown of the music biopic genre. Like the fact that he's making the bologna set. Yeah, you can have some of my bologna, and then Daniel Radcliffe is just standing there like,
My bologna.
like dead face,
Yeah.
my bologna, and they're like, get this kid a microphone, we got to record this right now. And like, yeah, no, that's every music biopic. It's so fucking dumb.
Another
Anyway,
one rides
sorry.
the bus. Did you see Weird, by the way?
No.
So good.
Oh, it's really good. You're a Weird Al fan.
I love
as
Weird
well.
Al.
Yeah. You have to
I don't
watch
think
at
that
one
like you could be our age.
point. Right.
and not love Weird Al.
Weird Al. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. He was like he was just like
At my last corporate job, I was like, there's one universal like cultural experience for, you know, white men born between the years.
Oh,
like
don't be
1979.
reductionist with that one.
No, I'm just saying like that's
It's
where it's
everybody.
universal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like if there's one group where there's 100% of people in that Venn diagram, it's white men who were born between like 1979 and 1993. And if you're that, you love or have loved at some point in your life Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around it. There's just none.
I love the story about Weird Al. He took his date to see The Naked Gun, and he didn't mention that he's in it at all.
Yeah.
And then, and he's wearing the same shirt that he wears, and
So good.
so he's getting off the plane with like Frank Drebin, and he's like waiting for the date to be like, "Is that you?" She didn't even care.
That's awesome.
The theme to Spy Hard is still one of my favorite things, just like in general.
Yeah,
It's so good.
yeah. It's so good. But anyways,
Anyway.
So the film starts in 1936, and the locals are being treated to a film, and it's led by a trained medical technician.
1936.
Yeah, 1936.
Is it 36?
I think that's the idea, is that it's like
the same year as the
same year
original
that the
film.
movie came out.
But
Yeah.
then, like when he's telling the story, it sort of seems like we're in the 50s.
Yeah, I'm
confused.
Well, because all the car models were like 40s and 50s cars, like there weren't like Model A's rolling around. It was like sort of recognizable, you know, Studebakery, Roadster type things. So I think a lot of the visuals felt very 50s, and like the swing dancing at the Five and Dime, like all that stuff felt very like 80s nostalgia
like
for 50s
Americana.
diners.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't remember if they said what year. Did they say what year?
Yeah,
does
so,
it,
like-
come up on the screen.
Yeah, he comes up on the
Rewind
screen.
the movie and shit.
I'm working on it.
He's like, I'm almost done with it.
Oh, he's
No,
literally
I'm
I
trying to-
he's
looking for a
literally
date.
got it.
Yeah, I think right after the title, it
Yeah.
says 1936. I'm almost.
anyway.
like,
I'll confirm
positive.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it's being led by a trained medical technician named. Well, we don't really
No,
get his
the
name.
the
It's
medical
Alan-
technician is Mr. Boomsack.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right.
He's just like a guy.
Yeah,
the
he's just
Alan
a-
Cumming character is just a guy.
yeah,
his
he's
name?
just a. He doesn't have a
Mr.
name.
Boomsack.
Mr. Boomsack?
Like it's like boom almost like Boomsack. I don't know what it's
Oh.
supposed to be, but it's spelled
1936.
like
Yeah,
it's spelled like bumsack.
Okay.
Yeah.
BU some. I think it might be BUHM, but it's like Mr. Boomsack. Or
Well,
something
that's.
like that.
I guess that's the kind
Yeah,
of film this
he's
is.
he's like the kind of portly guy in the white lab coat. That's also like the projectionist. That's
yeah,
the
okay.
that's the trained medical professional.
Oh, okay. I
Me
thought
and
it was
my
Alan
eager
Cumming.
assistant, Mr. Boomsack.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so we he's giving this kind of he's treating the locals to a film at the local high school, and he's giving them a speech about the harms of marijuana. Vince,
showing them a propaganda film.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Entitled "Tell Your Children," as
Your
in
Children.
the original 1936 propaganda film "Reefer Madness."
yeah, and we get the first musical number, "Reefer Madness," where there's like a zombie attack.
Yeah.
So for anybody who's listening to this right now that's like, what the fuck? Why are you covering this movie? There's a justification of sorts.
So yeah,
And there's something towards the end.
a little bit of cannibalism.
Don't get used to this, guys.
Yeah. The way I pitched it to EJ was like, it's technically a remake. Like it's sort of like a sequel remake. It's a parody, right? And also, you know, there's cannibalism, there's murder, there's zombies. Like you can kind of get there if you squint hard enough. But one of my favorite things about that opening number is from the minute that the marijuana leaf on the projector light like hits Alan Cumming directly on the body, and he starts talking like, marijuana is that drug. That whole opening bit of text right up until he starts singing, I forget if it's creeping like a communist or whatever that first like singing line is. That's all text from a like Star Wars style intro scrawl from the original film.
Oh,
so
okay.
It literally says marijuana is that drug, and you know, the new drug menace, an unspeakable scourge, blah 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 blah. All the way up through, you know, Public Enemy #1.
Yeah,
you know, that kind of thing. All that stuff is original.
Interesting.
Text from the first movie. So like they really did use a lot of bits and pieces from the propaganda film to make the musical. It's really neat.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And so as he's giving this, you know, like this musical number, we see a bunch of kids, like doped up kids, attacking the school and attacking all the parents that are at the school.
Almost out of like George Romero, Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And there's like very music video-y too. Like you don't get the feeling that this is diegetic. Like immediately, there's nothing that says like now we're entering a Fako zone, but it just has like a music video feel to it that makes it feel like it's not part of the story. That the adults are actually getting like stabbed with flags, you know, that are hanging up, that kind of thing.
Right.
Like you're like, that's not really happening, but whoa, this is wild. Like I don't know how they did it, but they really struck that that balance really cool. Like right from the get go.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, this movie is like this is just crazy shit is going to happen, and sometimes it's not going to actually literally happen. Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we see where, you know, the song ends and it shows them actually now watching the film itself. And so in the film, we meet Jimmy Harper, who's a high school student who likes a girl named Mary Lane, played by Kristen Bell. And Jimmy is kind of like helping her out with Romeo and Juliet because she wants to get a little help with the Shakespeare aspect of things.
If I can just rewind, one of the important structural things for the movie is that Alan Cumming moves between worlds a little bit.
Yes.
So like he'll be talking to the adults, which is all in black and white, and then it'll go to the colorized in film world, and he'll also be there. So like he starts out, he's got like a crossing guards uniform, and he's like, meet Jimmy Harper, blah 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 blah. So you like get to see him in world and out of world, which is why the Cumming counter is at 2 almost right away.
Yes.
But there's so many amazing line reads in this whole movie, and some of the ones that stick out to me I wrote down just because they're so good. And the first one is when they introduce Jimmy and Mary, and all the girls start like screaming, and he's like, and he goes and he runs and he goes and he picks up this turtle. You see, just a harmless old turtle, and then you can hear one of the girls, I think it's Kristen Bell, go, "Oh, I thought it was rats." That line just kills me every time. I thought it was rats.
I'm just glad you mentioned the turtle because, God, I was going to lose my shit if I didn't talk about that turtle actor.
He was pretty cool.
Just a harmless old turtle.
I also like, right out of the gate, they talk about William Randolph Hearst.
Yes.
Which is where, like, the whole, smear campaign against marijuana stemmed from. Because wasn't, like, the whole deal with it was that, like, they found out that, like, hemp could be, like, an inexpensive form of paper.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Hearst was a timber baron, timber billionaire.
Yeah, and he was just kind of like, oh, you're going to be cutting into my profits.
How can I ruin this?
Paper,
and,
clothing, materials, tons of stuff. Like so many things.
The name
Fuel.
of the high school was Anslinger High, which Anslinger was one of the architects of the war on drugs, like capital W, capital D, war on drugs. So yeah, they
I'm just glad that
immediately jump in with the like, we're making fun of this whole like now nearly century-long propaganda campaign against marijuana. Like from jump, we're telling you right now, we don't agree. We're fucking around with this. This is a goof.
I'm just glad that war on drugs didn't needlessly ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
But mention the
Vince.
My favorite part
Jinx,
about
you
that.
owe me a joint.
My favorite part about the war on drugs is that drugs won. Drugs won the war, hands down.
The best defeat in U.S. history.
Oh my god,
Losing the war on drugs.
Drugs won.
drugs
Yeah.
did win.
Yeah. So
Well, they were trying that Max sauce. What the fuck was the Dr. Max?
Dr. Max
Dr.
Pepper.
Max Pepper Sauce.
Max Pepper.
yeah, that's right. Hell yeah, they were.
23 flavors.
So Jimmy is trying to woo Mary Jane, and they
Tries
go.
to kill a fruit fly with a book. A prick.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's the coming counter number 2.
Yeah.
School. He's like a garbage picker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Upset me.
then they go into a
number 3.
song about William Shakespeare.
Oh my God. Romeo and Juliet is again another just one of my stupid favorite things. Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
One of the kids at the school musical was telling me that they were about to be in a production of Romeo and Juliet, and that they were going to play one of the Montague family. And I was just laughing. I immediately started laughing because I just thought, I keep getting that confused with Montague. That's not even a real word. It's like, it's so good.
It's so,
It's so, the line reads in this are just banger after banger after banger after banger.
Yeah, I
just
feel like
the individual line reads. Like if you took
Yeah.
any one of these little bits out of the whole movie, it would still be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
like they just nail it every time. It's so good.
and Kristen Bell crushes it.
She might
She's
make
so
it.
good at it. Yeah.
I think she's gonna do pretty good.
She might do okay.
Well, this was after Veronica Mars, wasn't it? Because that was like 2003 or so, and this was 2005.
okay.
So like she wasn't a nobody when this
Right.
when this made for TV movie happened.
2005, and when did Frozen come out? 2012. So she had a huge gap in between this, but I think she was a star.
Yeah, but she also
TV.
did,
did
she did a
Tangled, right?
lot of indie work.
Did she-
She
No,
did,
that was someone
Mandy
else.
Moore.
I remember her from Fanboys and a few other like random
love that
projects that
movie.
were big and niche.
Do you want to build a snowman? Anybody?
Am
I thought that song sounded like
so
this.
just out of curiosity,
no,
am I
not
the
this.
only one of you that wrote in their notes, I want somebody to light Mary Lane on fire?
Yes, you were.
I see.
Yeah.
All I had written down was his stupid fucking face and dance. So like he's like, yeah, when you want to woo a girl, you got to use big words. And then she's like, are you trying to woo me, Jimmy? And the fucking music cuts, da 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 da, and he just gets this big fucking grin on his face, and he's like flapping his arms to the side. It gets me every time. It's so good.
So good.
It's so cheesy.
Then we cut across town.
Oh wait, 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
So in that musical number, they have William Shakespeare marrying them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, the economy must be really bad if Shakespeare has to take on 2 jobs.
Oh shit.
That was topical.
Yeah, that was good.
No, I don't. I think Shakespeare had to work multiple jobs
Yeah.
in life. That's just
I-
what I had to say.
I did
I'm so glad you
appreciate
brought that up.
Thanks, man.
I did appreciate the restraint in the song to not choose only the like really sarcastic. See, these kids definitely don't get Shakespeare lines from Shakespeare. Like none of it was from like, shall I compare thee to a summer's day, where like he's being a real bitch.
Yeah.
Right. But like people who are only casually aware of some of his work don't know that he's being a real bitch. So like I just love that they chose like actual legitimate lines from Shakespeare and then a couple of little dumb things that like it was just such good restraint to not just be like these fucking idiot kids for a whole song. It was really, really nice. It showed earnestness that I think just really makes scenes like this work.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed this movie.
I love this movie. This is honestly one of my favorite musicals of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I get why it's not everybody's thing.
So then we cut across town to Sally Mae, who's played by Anna Gasteyer, and Jack Stone,
That's
played
a
by
funny name, Gas Tire.
Yeah, Gasteyer.
Man,
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And then Jack Stone, who's played by Steven Weber. And to me, Steven Weber is like the best part of this.
One
whole
of
movie.
them. Well,
He's so good.
second only to one other actor,
Alan Cumming.
John Gazer.
Oh,
Crypt
yeah,
Keeper.
the Crypt Keeper. Yeah,
He's like.
that's
like,
what I have him listed in here
don't
as
know.
Crypt Keeper.
I don't want to jump ahead, but Jesus was my favorite.
Oh, okay.
So I'm so glad that you brought up Jesus and Jack in the same breath, because on the off-Broadway show, Jesus and Jack are played by the same actor.
Oh,
That is part
okay.
of the script. Is that those
Wait,
two
this thing's on Broadway?
it was off Broadway.
I think you guys just skipped over a really important step in Vince's journey.
What's that?
He now found Jesus.
Oh, thank God.
So
This
this is how we get him.
get down with this,
He has
Jesus.
to find power, right?
Yeah.
We Jesus.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
With Jesus.
So we cut across town and we meet Jack Stone, who's kind of like a local gangster growing weed in his backyard. And
Perfect mustache, by the way, too. He
I
nailed
love the pencil mustache.
the way he looks
It's
in this
the
is
little-
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And his the way he talks is dead on.
Oh, it's
Well,
perfect.
Again, most of that dialogue, we got to give this place a going over. Looked like the army came through here. Like all that, a lot of that stuff is directly from the 1936. So like, it really is authentic to what it would be like to watch this movie because it's from the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a
Is-
Cagney.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is Steven Weber, was he on Wings?
Yeah.
Yes, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Thomas Hayden Church, that cast was unbelievable.
One
Yeah.
of my favorite
Tony
jokes-
Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
One of my favorite jokes on The Simpsons is Homer's just watching TV and it's like, next on Wings. Who cares? I don't know. It's funny.
So good.
So
Wait, you know what else is very 1936 about this part of the movie? Is when he hits her.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so we'll
Like
get
nothing
there.
was- we're
Yeah.
getting there? Okay.
Yeah. So we see Jack is, basically a drug dealer, and he leaves and
The number on her door is 420. In case nobody saw.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
on the Zoom
I definitely didn't miss that.
420.
Right.
That's cool.
All 58 times they do that joke.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
It's somewhere in the back.
I almost tallied that one, but I was like, I'm gonna lose track
My
of that
favorite is
immediately.
the Psalms, though. On the
Yeah,
list
oh
and
yeah,
on
the
church.
hymn board
All
with the
hymn
It
board.
was
yeah.
definitely hard to hear some of those songs as they were kicking that dead horse.
Oh.
That was the smartest joke I'm going to make all night.
So he like leaves, he hits her, right? And then
Wait, are you just going to go over the scumbag lady and her baby?
Oh my god!
mean, no,
all the
no.
baby shit in this movie is so horrifying.
I know they get into it more later,
Yeah.
so that's why I didn't write it down
I'm
now.
blanking on this movie already.
No, this is later. You're thinking of later stuff.
Okay, so 'cause
Yeah.
she's like, we
Yeah.
haven't met her
we
yet,
we
right?
no
You
we
meet
have,
her,
and
but she's
she,
just,
she
like,
has
hanging
a
out.
baby.
Okay,
and, like,
right.
the baby cries,
okay,
and she's like
that's-
yelling at the baby crying, but like the truly horrific shit doesn't happen until much later.
Well,
Yeah.
the only thing is that I see her very disinterested and actually
Yeah.
rather annoyed
Oh, yeah.
when the baby cries, and
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
we're heading.
Hold your water.
I was like, we're heading towards a train spotting,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah. I thought train spotting, especially later, like two scenes in particular. I'm like, oh, that's like train
Wouldn't it be
spotting.
awesome if the baby was just up on the ceiling?
Oh my god! Or just like in the toilet, like that scene. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways,
Did you notice
train
how
spotting.
she's just on the ground underneath a blanket and she just appears out of nowhere?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was
I
one of
love
my
it.
favorite
I
parts.
love some of those bits.
It's like, well, why is she down there?
She does such like physical comedy the whole time. There's something about the way that she moves her body. I was talking to my wife about this.
Tell me more.
I was saying that like the actress herself is not who I would think Hollywood would cast as like a vixen, right? Because part of her role at the house is to like seduce the young boys that they bring over so that they
Right.
like get into, right? She's not particularly curvaceous. She's pretty straight line all the way down top to bottom. She doesn't have like a particularly like femme fatale like look about her. And she's kind of a dumb fucking idiot. So like nothing about her should be attractive.
Right.
But she went like in later scenes, like especially the fucking orgy, which we'll get to, I'm sure. But she has such good like sensual body movement, and then when she's being a clown, she has such good clown body movement.
Yeah.
Where she just like is herky jerky the whole time and fucking slams her face into shit. It's like really, really.
Oh, yeah.
She does that
I noticed
switch
that.
so brilliantly that I wish I had any clue how she did it.
I think honestly, she might be my favorite character in the movie.
I could see
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
Sally's really, really funny.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
is. She absolutely is.
Some of what she's doing is horrific. But
Yeah,
I'm
of
like,
course.
I'm like, but she's really good.
So would you
Yeah.
say your favorite part about her was that she almost lit her baby on fire, or that she sold it to be eaten? Was that which one of those is your favorite part?
yes.
Yeah, my man.
So
Spoiler alert for the movie.
we see May goes into her musical number on how she got hooked on weed because of Jack, and it's called The Stuff. And my favorite part of that whole sequence is at the very end when she's like yelling out the window, and it like everyone's just jumps in terror. Like they're
I
like,
mean,
"Ah!"
when she yells that he assaulted her. And it's definitely played for
But
laughs.
the only thing that anybody on the street hears is rape. Because, like, she flings the window open while she's saying, Jack gets stoned, and thunk, the window opens, and she just screams, rapes me out the window.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm thinking about it from the perspective of the people on the street who just see some woman shout out from her
Window.
bedroom, like,
Yeah.
hallway window upstairs, and then quietly sits back down. Like, she just screams that, and then quietly sits back down. Also, did you catch Alan Cumming was the milkman?
Yes. Yep.
That's coming counter number 4.
I think I would like to play this movie at a college campus today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know.
I wonder how that would go, Max.
I don't think it would go well.
I don't know.
It's one of those things where, like, I watched it in college in the late aughts, and, like, I thought it was hilarious on its face at the time.
Yeah.
I now think it's hilarious for just fully different reasons, and I think the thing that's the worst about it is the stuff that I used to find the funniest about it, which is wild to think that there were that many, like, faces to this one stupid fucking song. But, like, it is like that. Like, I feel like as I've grown, what I find funny about it is fully transformed.
Yeah.
And I'm still laughing at it, even though the loudest, most aggressive shit is the worst.
Yeah, I'll say this. Sometimes really funny shit is the stuff you laugh at that you're not supposed to laugh at.
It's true.
It goes back to when you were like in like 3rd grade and your teacher's telling you not to laugh at some fucked up thing that's happening.
I think about it like farting in church, or like giggling after lights out at a sleepover, like that kind of shit.
It's like her yelling that out the window. Like the idea of it is horrifying, but the fact that she's like announcing something like that in a musical, and people are just like, "What the fuck?"
And then
it's funny because it's completely
insane.
awful.
It's
insane. It's funny for that reason. So like,
I just
comedy's
love-
like a weird thing.
Yeah. For me, I just
Gallows
love
humor.
the disruption of like normal life. So like
Yeah, me
the
too.
normal
Milkman's
people on
walking
the
around.
street and they're like walking around, especially these like 19 clean cut 30s.
Yeah.
So like to have her just scream in general, it probably would have made me laugh. You know what I mean? Because everyone just like reacted, and that's why I was like, that's
one
hilarious.
thing not about that joke that I really loved in this number is Anna Gasteyer's arm choreography.
Yeah.
She has this really like lusciously liquid way that she moves her arms throughout the whole song.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching this and I'm just like absolutely transfixed. Again, Anna Gasteyer, not exactly somebody that like Hollywood I think would traditionally cast as this like, you know,
We get it. You think the women
milfy-
in this film are ugly.
No, but
Yeah, Max, relax.
I'm saying I don't think Hollywood would cast her as a like attractive woman, but in
Don't
this,
listen to her, gas tire.
No,
We love you.
I think Hollywood would be wrong for that. I'm just saying that I think the way that she moves in this number and in many other places, she has a lot of this physical stuff that she does that is just, I mean, it's beautiful to
in
look at,
Wicked,
and it's
right?
also hilarious.
She's a good actress.
She was in Chicago. She did the Chicago spot.
She was one of the flying monkeys in
Off-Broadway
Wicked, right?
No,
I'm sorry.
not the movie. She was on the Broadway play.
She was on. Yeah, she did Alphabet when it had when it was in
2000
theaters in Chicago.
So
Yeah,
Wicked.
okay.
In Wicked, did she play Ethel?
Yeah, she played Ethelba.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So then we cut back to the class of locals where the one guy stands up and he mentions that I think heroin might be worse. And,
It's like if only it could
And he
have
goes,
been.
"You fucking commie!" Like immediately.
I like how he's like, if it could have been mere heroin.
would that it were mere heroin. I like that he shouts out that there's 48 states.
Yeah.
In these 48 states, because
These
Hawaii
40.
and Alaska were not admitted to the union
50s.
at that point.
Yeah.
Which was just a nice little touch.
I wish somebody was like counting their fingers, like 1, 2.
Yeah.
He's right.
He's right.
48.
But Alan Cumming makes a suggestion and it like confuses that guy. And and he's like, maybe you're talking about marijuana after all. And the guy's like, oh, maybe the cousin is
I
doing
think maybe
marijuana.
I was talking about marijuana.
yeah.
That's bad. And he just like
down.
cautiously sits back down.
You gaslit the poor man.
Yeah.
So good.
I do like how he's like, I think heroin might be worse because, like, my wife's cousin was addicted. He's like, no, maybe it was marijuana.
You're
You know?
wrong.
You're wrong. You commie. Say, I'm not a commie. No, maybe it is weed.
But also, like, tell me you're from Northeast PA. When he said Kaczynski, I was like, okay. So he's just some like Polish guy in this random southern town,
Right.
And there was like Russian name, and I was like, oh yeah, there's other places that have that in their last name.
Were you thinking like I could probably spell that? There's probably a
Right.
K.
I was like,
Probably-
if I put a P in there, nobody will know, and it'll be like anybody that I've ever like talked to in Scranton before. Yeah.
Yeah, and so then Alan pops on Reel 2, and it starts where Mary Lane and all the high school students are dancing, and we get a random cameo from Nev Campbell, who sort of leads that song in the diner.
I've always
And-
wanted to slide a drink down the bar. Does anybody else want to do that?
We could do that.
You could do that here.
I know a place we could do it.
Well,
do
you
it
can't
here.
do that because again, we're going to talk about that later.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
someone theoretically
Yeah.
could.
Slide that weed down the bar.
No, we're supposed to be stopping him. Whose side are you
Jeez,
on?
I'm so sorry.
God damn
But
it!
in this dance number, Nev Campbell is actually incredible.
And
She's so good.
Her voice is so warm. She has just a very
Yeah.
lovely, warm tone to her singing voice that I don't know why I didn't expect it. I just didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Nev Campbell is just like a really, really wonderful actress.
Nev Campbell contains
Yeah.
multitudes.
Yeah. She's probably the best scream queen now, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because I
sure.
feel like the Halloween series has kind
They
of
really completely
Yeah.
destroyed Laurie Strode.
yeah. So
They took all the integrity that character had.
Can I just real quick? The order board in the back for the diner. French fries were 15 cents. Potato salad was 15 cents. Soup was 10 cents. Coffee was a nickel. Pop soda was 10 cents and milk was 10 cents.
Thanks,
cheeseburger
Jimmy
was 35
Carter.
cents.
Is that unrelevant enough? Oh no, I guess he just died. So I guess that's actually kind of relevant to recent events.
Oh,
They're just coming off the Great Depression.
Yeah, no, it's
what was the burger of the month?
The burger of the month back then? I think it was a Traverse City. It
was a Traverse City?
beef patty with
Yeah. So Jimmy is nervous because he can't dance, and then
when she
steps
comes
in.
up to him and she's like, so the whole thing with he's nervous he can't dance because she's like, the president is coming to town, FDR,
Yeah.
and we're having a dance contest in his honor. I've been working on our routine. She's like, check this, but he goes, my dad says that he's a Supreme Court packing, labor appeasing Bolshevik, and Kristen Bell just goes, well, I don't know about all that boy stuff. And I just that line every fucking time. That line, so I don't know about all that,
All that
boy stuff.
But that's when Jack Stone steps in, who shows him how to be cool by having a dance with Nev Campbell.
And I think it's
that dance scene is
it's so good,
incredible.
and I think it's
Yeah.
clear that like they know that Nev Campbell will be a drawing name because she's in one scene and she's got like 3 costumes. She's got a full featured dance and
Yeah.
a full number all by her. Like I'm thinking about this from like a production standpoint. The dollars per minute for just her are probably higher than several
Everybody
of the
else.
other actors who have much bigger parts because
Yeah.
of all of the things that like went into making that scene happen. Like they had to build this like big contiguous 5 and dime set where they could have cameras like at all different angles but have the room be like one room. They have her in, I think, definitely two different costumes, but one with this like va-va-voom red dress
Yeah.
that like she does all this massive choreography for, and I just like, it's so clear to me that they knew what they were working with, and I would be unsurprised to find out that like the original 5 and dime operator was like a very, very bit part in like the show, like in the play, and they beefed it up to give her more things to do. Like if you told me that in the off-Broadway show like May and Jack went to the 5 and dime and they did the dance number together,
Right.
that would make so much more sense to me.
Then yeah,
Like they had this big coordinated dance number that they do to show off to kids,
right.
right?
Yeah.
And in the 36, May and Jack and Ralph go to the 5 and dime, and that's where they meet the main character of that one, which his name is Billy. Jimmy is the name of Mary Lane's brother in the 1936 one, which I think is kind of funny in contrast to this whole movie.
Yeah. He's like the love
But yeah,
interest.
so like if you told me that the original version was like, well, May and Jack go to the Five and Dime and we've got these dance numbers, how about we give them a big dance number? I'd be like, yeah, that makes total sense. But here they have Nev Campbell playing this sort of random character,
just like
there,
like
but they give her
Max
multiple
at the Max.
costumes,
Yeah.
and she has a big featured dance number, a lot of close-ups on her face, and this and that and the other thing, and like she gets to be real sexy and cool, and I'm like, they know who they're working with.
Right.
They clearly know.
Well, I don't agree with any of that.
Hey, I just wanted to pop in and say you're a fucking idiot. All right, let's keep moving on.
So Jimmy asks him, like, hey, can you teach me how to dance? So back at Jack Stone's house.
I like how he's just like, by the time I'm done with you, he'll make Fred Astaire look like Barney Google. and Barney Google had the last laugh when he made that awesome search engine.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Fred Astaire, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back at Jack Stone's house,
lame
it's
joke.
looking like
You
May
learn
is
something new every day.
yeah. May is hosting what looks like a brothel, and then kicks everyone out when Jack and Jimmy arrive, and they clean up the apartment like really quick. And Jimmy sees Sally, and he kind of goes like gaga over her. And at one point, she goes in the kitchen. She has the baby. She puts it on the stove, and she walks away, and the baby like catches on fire.
And you're
Pretty
like, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Even as a college student, I did not find that part funny at all. I was like, oh my God, this is now horrifying. Like,
Yeah.
part of me wonders if the whole point of it was to like raise the stakes, because later,
No, that was a bad gag.
but what I mean is like later some really awful, like all other really awful shit goes down in a very graphic and gross way.
Wait, wasn't there something in the original, or there was a campaign with like leaving the baby in the bathtub?
Maybe. I don't know. I
think
haven't
that
seen
was
it.
like one of the things. Like
Okay.
it was a campaign, and maybe that was a reference to that. I don't know.
Was that just like an
Yeah.
unfortunate moment in your own life?
Well, I love my two girls.
Well, what do I do, girls?
I do like her
So
two
good.
little lines that are in here where if I can't turn him on, he ain't got switches. And I like the other one where she's like, so Jimmy, how tall are you? Oh, 5 feet 9 inches. Well, let's forget about the 5 feet and concentrate on the 9 inches. And I'm like, God damn it, that's such a good fucking line. That's such a good joke. Oh, so good.
And then we see where May kind of questions Jack about getting Jimmy hooked. But then Sally, May and Jack get Jimmy to smoke it, right?
Who's
And
the insane friend with the W on the chest?
Ralph.
What is
He's
going on?
he's
with
the
him?
crypt keeper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was married to Julie Benz at one point.
What?
Isn't that weird?
Really?
I love a couple.
That's crazy. Yeah.
The introduction to this song, like every time I watched this for a while, would be like a new vocal stem for me, because I would just be like, take a took a tea stick, take a took a tea. Like in my head, I'd be like, smoke it, you may choke it. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, like it just gets looped into my head for a while. Now, after I don't know how many dozens of viewings I've done of this over the last 15 years, but yeah, it doesn't get to me anymore. But so it's so catchy.
And then in this musical sequence, we see Jimmy meets Goatman, and that's Alan
Cumming.
isn't it?
Alan Cumming plays the satyr. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's coming count number 5. I want to say. I think we've gotten to 5 at this point.
He just keeps coming.
He just
He
keeps
just
coming.
keeps
I was
coming
trying to come up with like a little jingle, like, how many times is coming? It's the coming counter. I didn't have anything for it, so I just.
I
kept
thought
the
that was
tally.
actually pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So then we see him getting spaghetti everywhere in his real life and acting strange, and he's like twitching, running down the street.
real Vince montage, if there ever was one.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I think Jimmy got real cool.
Again, whose side are you on?
Yeah.
So sorry.
I keep wondering.
But Vince, did you ever do that? Where you just
Never with red marinara. It's usually Alfredo that happens.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Also,
Yeah.
holy cum gutters on Christian Campbell. When he gets stripped in the middle of that song, he is so fucking cut. Like, that dude is the most cut dude I've ever seen in my life. He just
makes sense he does, like,
you
musical
can see
theater.
all
He's like-
of the lines on his body.
Yeah,
like
he's ripped.
do you drink water? How do you not have any puffy spots anywhere? Holy fuck.
No sodium. day before
I guess.
that
Yeah.
shoot. No,
I guess.
Gotta cut the water
Also,
right.
his little
You don't wanna
his
look
little
puffy.
pot leaf dancer thong that he has
Oh,
on.
yeah.
So fucking.
I
good.
have that same pair though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wears it here sometimes
Yeah.
for recording.
No pants, just reefer thong.
Sometimes, sure.
Yeah, sometimes. So Mary Lane comes
Says juicy
across.
on the back.
Yeah. Oh,
You like that
yeah,
one?
Yeah, I like that one. So Mary Lane comes across this cracked out new version of Jimmy, and he kisses her with tongue, like full on tongue, and she is like, "What the hell? You put your tongue in my mouth."
I love that their heads are fully like next to each other so that Kristen Bell can make the blah 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 noise that
Yeah.
she makes. I'll show you a few moves, and then you hear clearly Kristen Bell going, "Wow, wow, wow, wow." That was your tongue.
And she races out of there.
Love is an open door.
So yeah, love's an open. Yeah, so we can't say that because Disney.
got
They might sue us. I don't know. So she then has a song about missing the old Jimmy, sitting next to her in the pew, and she leaves, and we see where Jimmy and the crypt keeper break in to steal the collection box, like the money from the collection box, and then Jimmy starts to have a fantasy where Joan of Arc. By the way,
So French.
I
love it.
thought that was a bad French.
No, it's
No,
awful.
no.
It's a wild.
That's
Yeah.
the one-
Awful, and I kind of love that.
Yeah,
I
it's
kind
a
of love
good
how
bad
fucking
impression.
stupid it
Yeah,
is.
I was like, that's a
Like if you ask my 11-year-old who's never heard a French accent to do a French accent, that's
Like,
probably
okay.
what
Yeah.
it would sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome.
it was
Ne Christian Martel Rexit harder. I'm like, are you making fun of French people?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what
Is
it
that
was.
what we're doing?
She was actually channeling the Swedish chef.
talking about Twin Peaks, right?
Yeah, how
She
does-
sounded like the little guy,
Oh, Jesus.
tailed. Yeah, that's what that sounded like. So then we see, this musical number where Jesus arrives and
Amazing. I watched this so many times. This
You
was
said you
awesome.
watched this 3 times?
Yeah, 3 or 4
This
times.
is my
Yeah.
wife's favorite part of the movie. Most people I show this movie to say this is their hands down favorite part of the whole movie.
Really?
And
Yeah.
I kind of get it. It's first of all, song's a banger. It's a wonderful
is,
song.
yeah.
But there's just so many little bits throughout it that are just truly, truly fun. I liked Ramalama. They're gonna get your ding dong. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I like
Then-
that his hand gets stuck.
Yeah,
Coming off the crucifix.
Trust the man with the stigmata. Reminding you gotta with trust the man with the stigmata was just
Yeah.
chef's kiss. Beautiful.
This is that time when I was looking at the how much time I got by in this movie, and I'm like, I still have an hour left.
Yeah.
Oh my god! No, I'll be honest. I think it was right after this. I'm like, oh, this must be almost over, right?
No,
and then
man.
I was like,
No.
oh no, there's an hour
I was
left.
getting real mad.
I was like, oh no.
I saw this scene, and I
Yeah.
was just kind of like, oh shit.
Because I wrote it out today, right? And the funny thing is, I worked last night, and so I wrote it when I got home because I was nervous I would oversleep and I want to have the time, whatever, right? So I was writing it, and I'm like, all right, I have to, because I was pretty tired, and I'm like, oh no, there's another hour. Damn it!
It wasn't because you were tired.
Oh no! So May tries to warn Jimmy that he's in danger, and we find out that Sally sold her baby for money.
And how did she do that?
She went to a place and sold her baby, and
you're
it
like-
was very train spotting, and yeah, I was
And
just
it's
not.
that point where you're like, okay, 59 minutes left of this movie.
Yeah, I think this is where I checked it. I went, oh, because it was how it cuts to the classroom really quick, and then I felt uncomfortable too. So I was just like, how much time of this is left? I was like, oh, all right. But yeah, so Sally and Jimmy are driving along, and that's when they run over this old guy, and Sally doesn't really care. She just takes off, and Jimmy feels guilty. And
Is the May thing where she's trying to warn him? Is that where she's got the stake over her eye?
I think
that's, she got the
May.
steak over. That is
Yeah.
the warmest, like room temperaturist, grossest looking prop steak I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's
There's
like raw.
no
Yeah, it's
marbling
like-
on it whatsoever. It's just this fucking floppy, rubbery red piece of shit.
Yeah.
And she's just got it on her face. I'm like, that's not only is just a raw steak, because the whole point is that it's frozen, right? Not only is it room temperature and floppy, but it's also just the grossest looking steak I've ever seen in my life.
Was the
Yeah.
30s.
Yeah, seriously, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't have like good freezers.
No, they
back then.
didn't. They had the ice box.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick question. Did we get to the part where they run over the person?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I,
yeah,
that's
they
what I
just hit the
interrupted
old
him
guy.
while he was
Yeah.
Okay.
saying.
So just put this out there. I've run people over before. It is not a big deal.
Vince?
He was in the car.
I was there.
Oh.
He was the one who told me to step on the gas, and I listened to him.
I thought he was
told you,
outside the
back
car.
up.
Hey, here's the thing. You,
up now.
You did tell me to back up, and I did. And I'm just telling you, you made the right call.
Doesn't she make the comment of like he tried to jump out of the way or something like that?
Oh yeah, it's his fault for trying to jump over it.
Yeah, trying to jump over the car. That's a funny line.
Yeah. So Sally takes
Again,
off.
Sally has some of the best little lines in the whole
Yeah,
show,
she's
the whole movie.
hilarious in this. So Sally takes off, and Jimmy feels guilty, and that's when you hear the police coming in the distance, and as he sings, he realizes that he's in love with Mary Lane, and then
Not Mary
Mary
Jane.
Jane.
And
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
and then he has
Let's
a
just
duet.
spell that one right out. I love Mary Lane with an L. He literally said
Yeah,
in the
with
intro
an
to this
L.
Would have been a great way to wrap up this movie. Right
Yeah.
there.
So
Yeah,
this
right
is-
there.
it's-
Yeah.
Well, you got 40 minutes, sir.
It is clearly the Act 1 finale.
Yeah.
They're like in the stage show. This is clearly when we like close the curtain
cut,
and intermission
yeah.
happens, because they also like don't know how to come back from it either. Like
No.
it's very clear they do not know how to come back from the ending of that song, which
Yeah.
also takes like 17 loops too long because they're trying to show
Yes.
everybody.
But-
Yeah.
Because it's the Act 1 finale.
Can I introduce a stupid thing in this whole scenario?
Editing?
So like I'm just jumping ahead. Yeah. We get to the end, right? And it's like, oh, like you killed Mary Lane, which I don't know why that was a problem.
Oh, we didn't get there.
I know, but
there
I'm
yet.
just jumping
Oh,
ahead to
okay,
something
okay.
right now. So like they're like, oh, it turns out that you didn't actually kill Mary Lane, so you're free to go. But you did run somebody down with your car and kill them, and then drive away. So you're
Right.
still guilty of something, you fuck.
In the
No, they tried to jump over
1936,
the car.
the thing there is no nobody's getting arrested for killing somebody in the pot house. The police thing is for the hit and run, which is
really?
yeah. So that's kind of the interesting thing that Mary does get shot, and her boyfriend is
Thank God.
framed for it, and like there is a trial, and like shit does kind of happen.
So like,
But the hit and run is like the main thing that people are worried about.
but in this one, it's like an afterthought.
right, exactly.
They
And I
just
think
never
what's funny
bring it up
is
again.
The police go to Mary's house and they're like, "We're looking for anybody with a car with sort of similar license plates to the one that we got because we only got a partial report. Where were you? Where was the car? Excuse me." And she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I was home all day, like covering for her brother Jimmy." And the thing goes, "Yeah, I heard that they were blah 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 blah." It's still no excuse for hit and run driving. And I thought, what is an excuse for hit and run driving,
Yeah.
police officer? Could you lay one out for me? What's a good excuse for hit and run driving?
Well,
I just-
during the 30s, that guy could have been on the streets promoting this rising dictator. That's a good reason to run him down.
again, we
Just hear me out. This guy's got some ideas, and you run him down.
he says he brings us back to like the inciting thing where he goes, and to think all I wanted was swing dance lessons, and you're like, oh yeah, that's where this whole shit started.
Yeah.
How fucking stupid is that?
Yeah.
But he also, when he like throws the pebble at Mary's window to be like, we gotta, like, I love you, this is one of my big confession moments. She goes, what are you doing? It's the middle of the night. It's almost 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Again, just so many of these little lines that poke through.
I missed that line because to me, I was imagining him throwing that rock and her window was open and it just like hit her right in the fucking
Oh my
face.
god. I love that.
Because now in my notes I have I wish Mary Lane would catch on fire or get attacked by wisecracking dogs.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, well, we'll get to it when we get to it, but that mirrors like something that actually happens in the show, which is at the very end when
There's wisecracking dogs?
when she's like floating up to heaven, which doesn't happen in the stage show. She just stays in hell. But she's like floating up to heaven, and she's like, "I'll see you when you die." And he goes, "Maybe I'll get cancer or hit by a train."
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's like, you're like, yeah, please do that.
So Mary Lane decides to run away with Jimmy, but
That's where my Dewey Cox thing came in.
yeah,
Because when she's like leaving with them, I want her to look at the camera and be like, "I'm Dewey Cox's 14-year-old girlfriend."
yeah. But he tries to run off while she goes to pack, and that's when he comes across Jack Stone again, and he's like, "Hey, here, smoke this." He's like, "No, I give it up." He's like, "Oh, well, here's a brownie," and so he gives him a brownie to get high, and it takes off like to this whole cartoon sequence.
It's only like 45 calendar seconds, but it feels so long because it's just so like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Is it?
Right?
Would you say it's questionable?
So I did write down that if you told me the creators of Cuphead watched this movie and were like, "That's great, I'm gonna make an entire game out of this vibe,"
Yeah.
and then they saw the brownie's titties at the end, and they were like, "I'm gonna do something that's not exactly this. I'm gonna change it up just a little,
a little too
Change
much?
it.
I'd
That
be
might
like,
be a
yeah,
little too much.
I thought
Yeah.
maybe they caught Fritz the cat.
Oh, right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I do like that in one of the one of the little sequences that Jimmy randomly grows titties. Like,
Yeah.
he just like he's doing his little synchronized swimmer thing, and then all of a sudden he's got boobies. And we're like,
Yeah.
okay. And then in the next shot that the cartoon is in, he doesn't have them anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
What is going on in this little sequence? It reminds me. You know what it
happening
reminds me of? The Beavis and Butthead movie where they just like
Yeah.
cut to
Yeah.
that like psychedelic cartoon
I
for
love
like
it.
30 seconds.
That's much better than this.
well,
that movie, Beavis and Butthead Do America, kind of rocks.
it
Yeah.
does.
Like, I could
It does.
still watch that, and it kills me.
Yeah. Oh,
Fine
for
here.
sure.
Yeah. I think Mike Judge
the
is
the opening minutes where they do the look down at the footprints, look up at the empty TV stand, look down at the footprints, look out the window like 17 times in a row. I laugh thinking about it to this day.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just truly, it is one of the wonderful movies.
I also
That
like
being said, I fucking love this movie.
yeah.
I like that in that movie, Beavis thinks that old lady is like a prostitute or something.
Oh my God, on
Oh,
the
yeah.
And
she says she's a slut.
yeah. she's like, she's like,
I'm
how'd you
gonna
do,
pay
how'd you,
the slots. Oh, cool. She's a slut.
Yeah.
she's like, I like that part where she's like, me, how'd you do in Vegas? It's like, well, for me, I took a beating. Woo! And he's just like, cool.
Cool.
So they head
Wait,
off.
can I tell a quick brownie story?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so have you ever taken brownies? Any of you?
I've had non-brownie edibles before. But
Okay.
Not brownie specific.
So yes, I have a friend and we know him. He's an acquaintance.
Has he been on the show before?
Dr.
Is his name
Max
Beep?
Pepper.
I was gonna tell a story.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, I can't. I can't now.
Oh.
So I'll tell it anyway. Maybe you could bleep it out. I'll let you see
Oh,
if you
you
can
can bleep it
see if you
out.
can bleep
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so this friend of ours is that was a really good beep, by the way.
Yeah.
Hit that again.
Beep. Oh, that was bad. That was
You
worse.
cracked a little.
That
I'll
was
give you
worse.
one more shot at it. Beep. All right.
Yeah.
So his parents went into his room and found brownies, and he took them and wound up in the hospital. And to this day, he was here, and I remember him getting the phone call, and he was also so high that he couldn't even go to the hospital. He didn't know what to do. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, but also tragic.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they do that in Dairy Girls, but in a fun way, where the mean cantankerous grandpa eats one of the brownies that he doesn't.
Oh, and
doesn't
yeah,
anything,
and it's
he's
joyful.
just nice.
When you
And they're like,
expect it, it's
something's
nice.
wrong.
Yeah.
He was nice to my dad, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!"
They ate a severe amount and wound up in the hospital because they didn't know what was going on
they were
to
just
them.
eating brownies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had no idea what was happening to them.
tough.
You know what I noticed?
crazy.
When bad things happen to other people, it's kind of funny.
Isn't it? Isn't it though?
Yeah.
It's not funny when it happens to me, though.
No.
That's the weird thing.
Well, when personal stuff happens. Yeah.
You were asking if anybody's taken a brownie. Has anybody fucked a brownie?
I have.
Oh, no.
Because Jimmy definitely fucks a brownie at the end
Oh,
of
yeah,
this
yeah.
music video
The
sequence.
yeah.
I just didn't know
He
if that was
definitely-
No,
that's a given.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
No, I was like, he definitely did.
I don't know if that hit too close to home for anybody or.
Yeah. But so Jack and Jimmy head back to Jack's house, and Jack takes Jimmy's class ring as payment. And then we see where Mary Lane shows up at Jack's house.
I like how he bites the ring. Is that like the universal way to verify that something's gold?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
because,
it's real gold.
because gold
Yeah.
is soft enough that your teeth can make an impression.
I want to bite gold.
Hey, man, we got to go to the California mountains.
Let's do it.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Why
Have you ever
not?
bitten into gold? Have you ever bitten into something gold?
I have not.
I feel like that's
But the
a-
idea is if it is pure gold,
You can
it
bite
is
into-
soft enough that you can make an impression with your teeth. Wow. Because gold is not as hard of a metal as like an iron, or definitely not like
I know,
steel
that's,
alloys.
it's
or
one of those
something
movie
like that.
things I've always wanted to do.
It's
Hey, Vince.
malleable enough. You can't manipulate it with your fingers very easily, but like something as hard as a tooth can make a slight impression. So if you get a little give, I'm pretty sure that's what the deal is.
I also like the idea of just
I'm not an
some
old-
random guy biting shit. Just random things, rocks and like wood. Like, oh, you can bite into this.
Instead of his
And then it
teeth
gets to
just
gold.
Shattered.
Yeah.
Vince, I wanted to ask you if I could sell you my collection of pyrite.
Yes, please.
So
I think it's a solid
Sorry,
deal.
you can't smoke pyrite. Just so you know.
Oh, you could smoke anything.
You know you can smoke out of a hornet.
So Mary Lane shows up at Jack's house looking for Jimmy, and that's when the crypt keeper tells her Jimmy joined a frat early and stuff. And so then he gets her to smoke
I
weed.
love his line read. To go, I need the room.
I need the room. Yeah, there's like little bits of the crypt keeper that comes
Or
through.
keeps
and
popping
Sally's
in.
got a good one where where he goes, "Do you mind taking it upstairs?" And she goes, "I don't mind taking it anywhere." I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's such a good line.
And then we get where Mary Lane smokes weed, and then it leads to them Sasudo, basically boing.
Do you think this is what happened to Sandra D?
Oh yeah,
At the end of Grease.
absolutely.
Because you know I see her.
This
and
is
she's all
just
like,
this whole movie is just Grease fan fiction.
Yeah. This is like the in between, like when
Tell
she
me
leaves
about
Thunder
it,
Road
stud.
and then goes to the carnival.
yeah. Tell me about it, stud.
I think the costuming choice of her having just like one little strip of red in the bra that she's wearing underneath her like dominatrix outfit is so fucking funny. I don't know what it is, but I see that red and I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. I can't explain why, but something about that just tickles me pink. Like not horny tickles me. Like
Right.
I actively laugh when I see it. I'm like,
Tickle your ass with a feather?
no,
Yeah.
again, not horny tickling.
No, I said particularly nasty weather.
Oh.
What did you? What did you hear?
I see.
I heard what I needed to hear. So Jimmy,
Rewind the tape. Roll the tape back.
So Jimmy catches Mary with the crypt keeper, and then they kind of get into a fight, and that's when Jack he steps in and he pulls out the gun and stuff, and Jimmy and Jack kind of wrestle over the gun, and it fires and it shoots Mary, and she falls to her death. Jack knocks out Jimmy. And then he tries to play it off like it's Jimmy's fault, right? He puts like the gun in his hand and stuff. And that's when the cops come and arrest Jimmy on what Jack and May kind of say. Like they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he is on the marijuana.
Again, so many great line reads just in this scene alone. I particularly enjoyed, look, Casper Milky Toast is giving me orders, which again, 1936 line.
Yeah.
But Anna Gasteir's, he's planning to frame you. He's planning to frame you.
Steven Weber though,
he's so good.
he's so good in this. I feel like he's like one of the best parts of it.
I laughed really hard when the cops think they have this wrapped up, and then they just leave the body.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh my
they
god.
just leave her
Mary
there.
Lane bleeding on the floor is
Yeah.
just such a wonderful button to that whole scene.
I wish they were like in the car. They cut to them and they're just like, I feel like we forgot something.
But the best part is that they acknowledge it because right before they walk out the door, the one cop goes, "Pity, attractive girl," and then just turns around and walks out.
Yeah.
Like they fully know what they're doing.
And so at this point, I think, oh, this movie has to be almost over. And then it's like, oh no, there's 40 minutes
There's
left.
40 minutes left.
30 minutes. 31 minutes.
And you're just
Yeah.
like, man,
Yeah.
I
was
sure
like,
hope
oh.
there aren't rape scenes in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Jimmy goes to prison.
And
and he's on death row. And we see the Crypt Keeper. He starts to feel the guilt over Jimmy and Mary Lane. And so
this is when the movie won me over for a little bit.
yeah.
This was
is
when
it
I was
starts to
like,
get-
okay.
Okay.
I wish this was the whole movie. Like,
yeah,
I
it
wish
finds like a good rhythm.
I wish that it wasn't
Yeah.
so like just quick. There's
Yeah.
like a really like everything that happens from this point going forward is very enjoyable. Mm-hmm. It just took an hour and 30 minutes to get here.
Yeah. So Jack and so he starts to feel the guilt over Jimmy and Mary Jane. Meanwhile, Jack and the girls start to worry that Crypt Keeper is gonna crack, right? So Jack and May leave and return to see that basically Jack the Crypt Keeper decapitated Sally and is like gone full
just
cannibal.
eating her body parts raw.
Yeah.
Like he's got like a obviously prop like arm with like fake viscera hanging out of it. And he's just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's he starts to make out with her decapitated head after a minute.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god.
That's when I had my notes say, I wish this was the whole film.
I know.
Well, I do think that there's something to be said for like if you look at this as Act 1 as exposition, then I think that's the most cohesive like structure to look at it as, because like what else could Act 1 be besides way too much exposition? But I don't think the frenetic seeming by comparison pacing at the end, I don't think out of context would work.
Well, that's why you set it up to
Right. No, I'm just saying that, like, I think what ends up happening is the reason that the second half of the movie feels much more cohesive is because we spend so much less time popping back out to Alan Cumming and all the adults in the school. So there's not as much gear shifting in between things. And I think that the acceleration and deceleration between the different worlds of the movie is what causes a lot of that stumbling and staggering in Act 1, where they don't do almost any of it in Act 2, except for at very crucial and specific moments. I wonder if there is a version of this now that it's been, kicking around for 20 years that has corrected for some of those like pacing issues in the first half.
Yeah. Because I do feel like the second half definitely flies, or it's like more cohesive and it flows a lot better than the first half. And I don't know, it just feels very different.
The first half is a lot of silly shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of silly shit.
And like, that's fine. I guess that's sort of the issue with it, is that it might have gotten too silly.
Right.
And then, like, I get to this part, and there's, like, really dark jokes, and there's,
Yes.
like, cannibalism, and I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And you can't even make the argument, really, that it's like, well, we got to know the characters first.
Right.
Because Jimmy's in the clink.
The whole point, and the whole point of the characters is that they're caricatures. So why would we spend any time getting to know them anyway?
But
right?
it would have been better,
'Cause,
I
like,
think.
Jimmy's just a good boy, and Mary's just a good girl, and Ralph is just
just a good Ralph.
just like a fucked up, slightly adult man.
Did you ever
And, like,
see a film called Phantom of the Paradise?
I have not.
It's a Brian De Palma movie.
Okay.
It's a better version of what they were attempting to do with
Sure.
this. We'll get to
Yeah,
this.
We'll get it. So Jack ends up shooting the Crypt Keeper 5 times, but the Crypt Keeper only dies when he just impales himself. Like, he tries to jump on them, but he overjumps by like 10 to 20 feet and lands on like a stake out, like where the scarecrow was.
The post where the scarecrow was.
Yeah.
One of the claims that they make in this movie, quote unquote, is that like marijuana gives you like super strength and superhuman abilities. So like the idea that he can just like jump 20 feet in the air from a standing position.
Can verify.
I've seen Vince jump.
Wait, so does it give you superhuman abilities or does it take away all of your abilities?
Like Popeye, I need my spinach.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I've seen Vince jump from one side of the bar to the other. Yeah.
Right, yeah, in one hop.
One hop.
It's kind of amazing.
It can make you do almost anything except for drywalling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that it stops you
one
from
thing.
doing.
I'll say though, man, when you leap, it's graceful.
Yeah.
No one's saying it's not graceful.
So May now finds she's feeling the guilt too, and kind of stands up to Jack and beats him up with a hoe. And then,
A gardening hoe. I want to be very clear based on the rest of the movie.
Oh, right,
That it's
true.
actually a gardening hoe.
Yeah, and then
Do you want to wait? Do you want us to give you a chance to objectify the hoe and talk about? Its
No,
body?
sorry.
Okay.
I'm being very specific.
Was she too
about-
ugly to be a
Too
hoe?
ugly to be-
and then she murders him and rips out his heart, which I was like, I love that scene. I don't know. I thought that was pretty solid.
And that
fun.
it's
Yeah.
the reprise of the stuff, right?
The stuff,
I
yeah.
am now free from the stuff, and she's got his still beating heart in her head.
Love that. And then May then tries to meet the president who's coming to town. And she's like, yeah, could you get a pardon for Jimmy? And
I don't know who Jimmy is, but sure.
Yeah.
I love that. He's like, I, for one, would like to hear what the blood-spattered young woman has to say. So I'm guessing this is pre-Giuseppe Zangara because he was still pretty cool with people approaching him in parades.
Yeah. And again, Alan Cumming playing the president.
FDR, yeah.
And
Another
at the prison.
coming sighting.
I haven't been doing the Cumming counter the whole time, but my final tally was 12.
Wow.
12 different
okay.
costumes / roles for Alan Cumming in this movie.
Alan Cumming Bukaki.
Yeah.
Why do you think I had a Cumming counter?
So at the prison, Jimmy's in the electric chair and is about to die, and that's when May arrives with the president. And
Can I tell you what I think would have been a better thing?
yeah.
Okay, so you change perspectives. You have May and the president hurrying inside, and then they get inside, and they've already pulled the switch. Jimmy's just sizzling.
Oh, no.
What?
We're too late.
Tried to do the right thing.
Considering how
I would have loved that.
They tried to play like how close the call was.
Yeah.
The fact that they spend so much time with Anna Gasteyer pointing at every word on the newspaper headline that's like "President in town."
Oh, I
today,
actually really
parade
liked that.
Yeah, that was
at-"
funny.
No, I loved it so much.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny that we were talking about the Beavis and Butthead bit because I think about that and the looking footsteps, empty TV, footsteps, broken window, footsteps, and she's just like pointing at every word. President in town today. 6 p.m. And then she looks up at the clock and looks back down. 6 p.m. looks up at the clock just to be like they put so much on that bit, and
Yeah.
it's just, and then later they're like, "Wow, thank God we got here the millisecond before the switch got thrown. If only you could read, we might have had 15 extra seconds. Wowee!"
Yeah.
But it's such a good bit for the movie.
So yeah, Jimmy destroys the devil's
More
lettuce.
like Dimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. So Jimmy destroys all the devil's lettuce at Jack's, like in the backyard. Did that break your heart a little bit,
Oh,
Vince?
there's more. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I
And
do think it's very telling that they burn all of the marijuana. Like maybe the worst way to get rid of it.
yeah, they're like they burn
Like
it.
maybe
Yeah.
the one thing you shouldn't do.
Now, again, wouldn't it be funny if they just heroically burn all the marijuana? Hard cut to them all just sitting inside watching TV eating chips.
Did you ever see
There's a better movie in
Wait,
here.
what was it that we were doing?
There's a YouTube clip.
Devil's lettuce.
There's a YouTube clip of a guy, a journalist, in front of he's reporting from this big drug bust, and
Yeah.
there's a pile of drugs burning behind him. And he starts getting high, and he can't get through the interview. You have to
Oh
see
my
that.
god!
Amazing.
I love like weird news interviews,
Local news.
Yeah,
stuff.
that goes around. Oh, I love that. So then we see where Mary Lane, she goes to heaven, and back to Alan Cumming, given the final number with everyone, and in the jail, and we see people dressed up as the presidents and Lady Liberty.
Yeah, Jack is supposed to be George Washington, and Sally
Yeah.
is supposed to be the Statue of Liberty, and Ralph is supposed to be. Oh, yeah, Ralph is also I think supposed to be just like a I
One of
forget
them.
which one.
Uncle Sam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He's
right?
Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
want you to drop that joint.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say about this sequence is that it must have been really good because my cat Ella was like hypnotized by it.
Yeah.
Like I looked over at her and her head was just kind of doing this. Like, oh,
There's a
wow.
nice little reference.
We're not done talking about my cat, buddy.
Oh, yeah. No,
We got some
I
time,
wouldn't
Max.
dream to cut you off.
Once I got into the cat.
Yeah, once the kid bring the cat up, she demands that I plug her on the show.
Excellent.
She's adorable.
I did like.
Oh, we're not done. No.
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
If this genre is anything, it's people interrupting each other. Like that's what talking about movies on a podcast is as a genre. The Annie reference that they make. A little girl once told me the sun will come out tomorrow. Well, Alan Cumming was Rooster in the 90s movie. So he was in the movie version of Annie that most people would have seen, at this time. He was just in it. He wasn't,
He was
Daddy
a
Warbucks.
rooster?
He was a rooster.
A rooster cock Cummings?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what just happened to my brain.
Yeah, what
I just had a
what's going
stroke.
on there, man?
Just love seeing
What's
costumes in your
happening?
mouth.
Yeah.
But that's where the movie ends, and then we
Yeah.
have like a quick cut to I forget, like an after credits thing.
I didn't stay.
Yeah,
There was a little after credit scene.
Yeah.
It was like 2 seconds long.
This is just a
Yeah.
filmmaker saying, I'm sorry.
I'm so
Forget what it
sorry.
was.
I really thought I could make this work.
we
No,
did
I'm
a
just kidding.
thing.
No, I forget what it was. I
in
think it was
the
like the devil
finale-
or something, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
devil is just sitting there like making a stupid noise. Like that's all that it was. It
Yeah.
certainly wasn't, Samuel L. Jackson walks out and says to May.
You think you're the only person smoking pot?
Right. Like, he doesn't come out and say to May like, "We need you to join an elite team." Right? It's
Yeah.
not. It's nothing like that.
That would have been much better.
Right.
Or if the devil was just like growing pot.
Right.
Yeah.
It's even like in overalls and a little like sun hat.
One thing that
He's
I
dressed
really
like Thanos. I better do this myself.
It ain't much, but it's honest work. Sure. I would like if you guys so for the Scream musical,
Yes.
how about all the songs are like, but you're talking about who the murderer could be, but you guys never actually catch them because you're always too late because you're busy doing songs.
Oh yeah.
Like every time you
good.
get to someone's
good.
someone
They're
is
murdered.
dead,
That is a
like you were
commentary-
gonna be there, but you were busy 2 seconds later singing a song.
That's
and you're just late.
such a good. That is commentary on musicals and horror films, and I love that so much.
That's really
Yeah.
funny.
Because one of the things that people say that they hate about musicals is like, why do people just fucking burst into song randomly? And I'm like, I get it. I understand. Like, it's a convention of the genre. I get why it's there. Most people get why it's there. But I also get why it looks dumb. Like, it just feels dumb. I get that too.
One of my favorite
to,
gags-
call that out in a Scream style where they're calling out horror movie tropes would also be a really fun little combination.
One of my favorite Simpsons gags, again, Simpsons number 2. There's this episode where
Get
a
a new
Pooh
counter
moves
going.
in. Do you remember that episode?
Possibly.
So Pooh has this big musical number, and then the family breaks into it, and they're all into it. Song ends, and then you just see the family awkwardly sit down because it's like you have to go back to reality, so they're just kind of like, they sit back down.
But I did like a couple of things in the finale specifically. I just thought it was
That it was finally going to be over.
The word finale gave me hope.
The overtness of the like political messaging I thought was kind of refreshing for a movie that is mostly attempting to be satirical. Because the original film was not hiding what it was supposed to be either.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of the over silliness of the first act really covers up the like, hey, we've been doing this drug war thing for like 70 years at this point, and it just isn't working because it's stupid. And they cover that up with so much like overly saccharine, just making fun of like old-timey things in general, that they muddle all of that messaging in the first act, and then in the finale when they're literally like, and then we're gonna like, once we solve the pot problem, we're gonna start on all these other culture war issues, and like the important thing is knowing who the enemy is and going after them all the time. And then you just see Alan Cumming walk across the camera with that shit-eating grin on his face, and he's
Love
like,
him.
I nailed it. I got these people. I nailed it. And I understand. It's maybe not the only complaint. My biggest complaint about this movie is that I think if at the end, when they're doing the whole bonfire scene, if his walk out of the car past the camera was like the only thing that we saw for the last like 10, 12 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
Where it's just him with his smile of victory, and you just slowly watch him like leave the scene. And then I think it would leave you with this like, oh shit, like this he achieved victory, and like they wouldn't be covering that up. The fact that they snap to that shot and then they snap away from that shot to just seeing the main cast again. I'm like, why are we looking at this? Why are we looking at this? This doesn't add anything.
No, I definitely agree. Like,
So,
I feel like it would have been more impactful.
There are so many little things that
I think it also would have made the movie 10 minutes shorter. So I also agree.
I don't know if anybody noticed this, but do you remember when they're walking down the street? They're all marching down the street, and then there's a black family
oh my god
standing outside,
like,
and
like,
the kids
they're
are walking
about to leave
toward
their house.
And the father grabs the kids, and the wife turns
run
around and goes
inside.
back in the house.
Oh my god, it's
That's
so
a funny
real.
gag because it's just like
It's
a bunch
so
of
real.
People with
wearing
fucking pitchforks.
torches.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like one of those things.
It's a
I
bunch
don't-
of white people in 1936
Marching
walking down the street with
together.
torches and pitchforks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Max doesn't really hate you white people. He talks a lot of shit on you white people, but he doesn't really hate you. He's a white guy.
Well, let's get into our emojis.
Let's hear those burn ass emojis.
All right.
Gotta go get
So first off, Rory, do you want to start us off?
I have an emoji. It's real simple. It's a person sleeping. 'Cause
Oh,
that's what
was
I
that-
wanted to do while I was watching this movie.
Oh, really?
No, I mean I also have a shrugging
Okay.
person
like a shrugging guy.
Yeah.
because I've got complicated feelings on it. I'll explain it shortly, but yeah.
Okay.
And also I got a turtle and a fruit fly.
Oh, sure.
And
Okay.
I got a cat too because I watched it with Ella. So
Yeah.
sometimes
There
I
you
would
go.
just pet her. But that's it for today, guys.
Okay. I
got
like it.
I got a tree.
Okay.
I got an 8-ball.
All right.
I got a dollar sign. I got a what is that? A grapefruit.
Are these
and-
just your recently used emojis?
No, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to. This isn't my emojis.
Eggplant.
This is my list of addictions that I'm trying to narrow
Oh,
down.
I see.
Trying to figure out which one
I
actually it
understand now.
is.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Got it. Got it.
Got it. All right, Max, how about you?
I went with a skunk
Oh, yeah.
and a turtle because I thought it was rats.
I like turtles.
I got
too.
like a leafy branch, the Statue of Liberty,
Nice.
and a church, and like a reel-to-reel projection camera.
Oh, that's actually really good. Yeah. I just have a Groucho Marx
I like that pun really good.
and
You
a
didn't even know we
turtle.
did it.
Because I like Steven Weber, and he had a pretty sick mustache.
Yeah. Shit, yeah.
And then I like
pencil
turtles.
So turtling is what a friend of mine who and I would say, like, when we were gonna play Magic and smoke weed, we'd be like, yeah, let's sling some cardboard and turtle up.
Yeah.
Because just green turtle. That was the whole connection. So
Turtle
turtles
up.
just make me think of smoking weed.
Nice.
So I picked turtle.
I like-
And skunk for the smell, obviously.
Yeah. I like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I also like those Ninja Turtles.
in a half
Yeah.
shell.
They're pretty cool. All right. Well, let's get into plugs.
It's time for a plug.
Young Vince, do you want to start us off? What would you like to plug?
Nothing.
What?
Oh no, I'm just kidding.
I was
Three
going to
Jacks
say.
Burger Bar.
Yeah.
I
What's
think
that?
I could. Can I plug Trivia Night? Did you guys do that thing yet? How's that going?
I think this is going to be after Trivia Night.
No,
Damn
this
it.
is going to be before.
This
420.
oh yeah. So yeah, it's
All
good.
right, so leave all this in.
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
all of this banter
yeah,
in.
yeah.
This is how organized we are.
April 28th. We got a couple tables in already. April 28th, we're going to do Trivia Night at the Three Jacks Burger Bar. So
And then what?
and then on the 7th, we're going to do a Freakquels live
Live podcast.
podcast.
It's going to be a Ed
Freak Wolf.
Woodathon.
It's a live.
It's
show.
a live podcast show.
Yes.
Yeah. It's awesome because we're going to have an Ed Woodathon.
Yeah, basically.
We're gonna do an episode on Bride of the Monster.
A Get Woodathon?
Get Woodathon, yes. You ever see
Hell
Ed Wood?
I thought that's what we were doing
Oh, yeah.
right now.
I mean, it's a podcast.
Boy, yo, 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 yo.
But yeah, we're doing an Ed Wood marathon. We're gonna have like a little bit of a watch party, some a costume contest kind of thing going on, and what else? I don't know.
We're just giving people a attempt to...
Special drinks.
Oh, the Free Quencher.
Yes, and special food.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
Something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, gravy digger.
Yeah, gravy digger fries.
Something with gravy diggers.
Yeah.
Got to get some of the glass out of
This,
it. Not all
this
of
feels
it.
like real title tail wagging the content dog for some of these ideas, but I do like gravy fries, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gravy digger fries will be
Gravy
your
digger
thing.
fries.
Oh, yeah.
I can dig it.
We're gonna find any type of object and just throw it in there.
Yeah, man.
That should be the
broken
game.
glass.
Like, what did you find in your gravy digger fries? What is that? A fingernail?
I got a chicken bone.
But even like trivia, it's gonna be pretty rad. It's all horror movie trivia. And
Yeah, so if you're trying to come in here with some other shit, don't come.
yeah.
Get out of here.
Get out.
So, 3 Jack's Burger Bar.
3 Jacks, yes.
Yeah.
What is the burger of the month for April?
April is still the Traverse City 6-ounce beef patty. What else? Oh, Jim Beam Red Stag Cherry Compote and Brie Cheese. That's a good one. It's fruity. It's got a lot of sweetness to it. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
Good
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
Love it.
Hell yeah. And how about you, Max? Any upcoming projects or anything cool?
Yeah, so we just closed the musical that I was working on, but my professional choral group is doing an all Monteverdi concert, Claudio Monteverdi, Saturday, May 10th at 7:30 at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in downtown Scranton, right on Wyoming Ave. It's sort of catty corner with the big Roman Catholic Cathedral, if you've ever seen that big-ass building.
It's a nice building and a nice
It
church.
is. St. Luke's is no slouch either, and it's a it's a free will offering. So ticket price is just sort of whatever you feel like paying. But yeah, so that'll be Saturday, May 10th at 7:30. Monteverdi, a musical odyssey.
What does that
So
mean? Price is whatever you're willing to pay.
It's whatever you're willing to pay.
Okay.
Just like call me first, because it's a church. I'll take you to the secret.
No,
back
I'm
room
just.
first.
I'm wondering. Like,
we just need to go to a secret back room
Okay.
first.
I was just
That's what
wondering
I'm
if
saying.
like some really rich person that loves theater should maybe go there and donate
Yeah,
a lot
well,
of money. Like a giant
100%.
check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
All right,
100%.
right.
I'm bringing my pyrite.
How about you, Rory Cool Rasse?
I would like to plug Raven View Productions. It's my film production company being built up. It's pretty awesome. It's we make films, and it's how you get to listen to this podcast each and every Wednesday when we drop episodes. We got Fourth Cut Reviews, Church Conforti,
Church, yeah.
yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Content himself.
That's right.
Pumping out
Mr.
material like it's going out of style.
He has a TikTok now.
He does.
Yeah.
Is it Church Conforti?
I think it's Church. Yeah.
Talking Church.
Yeah, talking Church.
We got Gravy Diggers.
Hell yeah.
Gravy Diggers pot pies. It's the pot pie that you eat and then you die. That's kind of just the whole thing with it. It's not good for you. The fries will be.
And this is why you should stop doing pot.
Yes.
Well, this is more of a pot pie made by a madman. Schwartz
but
Dreamboat is our local comedian genius. You can look him up on all the socials.
Hell
he gives
yeah.
you free comedy, and it's actually funny. It's not just like weird shit that you see online that you kind of tell yourself is funny. It's legitly funny.
I don't know. I've seen some weird shit online.
Oh man, I know. You show me
Like the weirdest.
Sometimes I look over your shoulder and I'm like, oh.
Add that to the list.
Real Chronicles, our pal Dave Gonzalez, friends of the show. That is his podcast. I was on their most recent episode for the movie Cruising with Al Pacino. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. But the podcast is a lot of fun too, so you can listen to that. You can also find Dave at the Cinematic Reel, and you can read all of his awesome reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. He's a legit critic, and he's climbing the ranks. Most importantly, Kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue. That's really the only one of these fucking things that matters. I'm just saying, you can ignore every other plug that we've said so far.
I'm just saying that I really depend on 3 Jacks as like
I don't care.
my family and John's family too. So maybe
Well-
I know kitties are important, but I got to feed my kids.
No, you don't.
Okay.
See, that's the problem is that you use a lot of that phrasing. Yeah. I have to.
I love your reaction. Oh, okay.
I don't want to. I don't want to step on any toes.
I'm
But
just
anyway,
saying.
I guess kitties
the
are more important.
gambling and the weed might also be a part of it.
Well, that's
You know who doesn't smoke weed? The cats.
Okay.
Of PA Pet Rescue.
Well, not
yeah,
yet.
you can just like look them up. We actually have a link on our website, freaklespodcast.com. You can actually find them on Facebook as well. If you want to adopt a cat or you want to get them some blankets, some food, donate some time, it's awesome. My sister just adopted a cat, Miss Aurora.
Yes.
She's adorable. She now looks happy. She's not in a cage. Cats don't belong in cages. People do, but not cats. So you should look them up. EJ, what the fuck do you have?
Wait, sorry. Could you just get a clean "people belong in cages" for the record?
Yes, people belong in cages.
You know,
Fantastic.
my kids.
tiny cages.
My kids need food. My kids need shelter. My kids need blankets.
No, they
Sounds like a
don't.
cage.
Okay.
Vince's kids need cages.
Speaking of which, when I get home, I gotta let the kids out of the cage. Good and let them outside. As soon as I get home, it's
the baby cage.
The kids in the cages and the silver spoon.
I board my children.
Oh my god. Just Vince's. Okay.
All aboard?
I love that. It's so funny. Okay, so yeah, really fast. A few plugs. Jon Snow, Mr. New Metal Messiah.
Metal Messiah Jon Snow.
He has
73 bands.
73 bands now.
Working on 74.
And 52 followers on SoundCloud. It's really great. The ratio is excellent.
Yeah. No, he is crushing it. You have to see Jon Snow live. He is amazing. He's just so fun to watch. And you could check out upcoming shows at etc.com. He has a show coming up with Variant Season, friend of the show, Will Perna. And they're playing at the V-Spot in May.
Shit.
And I think the end of April or something too.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, they have an upcoming show, so make sure to check that out. Also, friend of the show, buddy, Adam Farley. You could check out, he has upcoming shows at the mdgcrew.com. You could see whenever he has shows coming up. Check out his songs like Carson Song or what's one of your favorites?
What, my favorite song?
Yeah, by Adam.
I like that song that Adam wrote for me
Oh,
called
yeah.
Carson's.
Wait, you narcissist. You're like,
Wait.
I'm actually Carson.
That song's actually about me, in case people didn't know.
Yeah. No, but he has such great music. It's on Spotify, iTunes. Same with Christopher Liu. You can check out his stuff. He has an EP out on Spotify and iTunes called Songs from the Hallway. It's really good. Has a Billy Joel kind of vibe to it. But yeah, check out all those guys. And finally, check out freakquelspodcast.com, our website where you can find merch. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have glassware, we have mugs.
Do we have thongs?
Do we have the kind of glassware that Vince needs, or like the kind you drink out of?
Oh, the kind that you drink.
Are you,
out of.
Wait, are you saying there should be a Freakquels bong?
I mean, I'm not saying there should be. I was just asking if there was.
There isn't one.
Freakquels pipe.
We do have that suggestion box.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So no, but yeah. So make sure to check out freakquels.com, and we also have information there, links to different stuff. If you do want to check out Three Jacks, we do have a link
you
to
do?
Three Jacks. Yeah, so you can check that out. Also, like links to Variant Season and all that stuff too. With that being said,
Before we wrap up,
yeah.
Vince,
Yeah.
did you learn anything today?
No,
All right.
not
well,
even close.
Do you feel like watching this film terrorized you and you don't want to smoke pot anymore?
No, not at all. I actually feel like you guys would benefit if you smoked. I feel like your life would be a little bit
You
better.
might have enjoyed the movie more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely would have enjoyed the movie of what I remember.
I definitely
Right.
watched
Yeah.
this movie both sober and high and loved it both ways. But
Yeah.
I
It's definitely better.
All of your complaints would be ameliorated by a little bit of weed.
Oh.
So would you
Okay.
say that this intervention was a waste of time?
Not anything. Yeah.
All right. So everybody at home,
Was
if
a-
your loved ones seem like they're astray, let them go.
Leave
Let
them be.
him-
Don't try.
Leave them be.
Don't try.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But with that being said,
Wait,
Yeah.
you know what you're really gonna learn is that like drugs are gonna win every time, and you know what's way better than family? Drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs
with-
are fun.
and
Yeah,
with
let's
that,
just be honest.
with that
Drugs are fun.
With that heartwarming message, EJ Leeson, take us out of
Drugs
here.
are fun. Quote by Dr. Max Pepper.
So thank you to our guests. Vince, I love you so much. It's always great having you here, man.
Happy to be here and throw shit
You make me
bombs.
laugh so hard. I love you.
You
love
make
you
me
more.
laugh hard.
Yeah. Laugh hard.
Who's coming now?
Everything that I do is hard when I'm around this.
And thanks to our guest, Dr. Max Pepper.
Doctor.
It's so fucking dumb.
Welcome to Freakquels.
And welcome to Freakquels, baby.
I once described my sense of humor to my wife as the longest road for the least payoff, and the fact that we keep saying Dr. Max Pepper over and over again, so up my fucking alley. It's not
Perfect.
even funny.
Yes.
I love it so much.
Yes.
Well,
But
you
thank
got the it's not really funny
I
part,
can't.
right?
I can't wait to see him at the Dunmore High School and just yell Dr. Max Pepper.
Unironically, the kids will be like, "Wait, is he cool? Is he
Yeah.
cool?"
Is it-
Because they
what's
fucking
that?
love Dr. Pepper, but I don't know what
yeah.
it is. The kids will love it.
Can Mr. Roach get us?
Do you remember? Do you remember in the late aughts, early tens when everybody was like, "Bacon is my whole personality"? These kids, Dr. Pepper. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what it is. It's
I
wild.
mean,
I love
I've
it.
been rolling on that forever.
Yeah, man, you were one of the original Peppers.
Oh,
Dr.
OG
Pepper's doing a lot of
Peps.
cool stuff out there right now.
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah,
Anyway.
if you ever decide to do one of the bad Star Trek movies, also call me.
Yes. Oh,
my-
absolutely. I
that's
mean,
my area
wait
of
a second.
expertise.
There
What do you mean
are no
bad?
bad Star
I know.
Trek films.
You,
Yeah.
you should come on our other podcast, Trekwells.
Trekwells, yeah.
But
It's pretty good.
But anyway, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. And Vince, I'm sorry you didn't learn anything and we wasted your time.
I'm never gonna.
I'm glad you didn't.
But you know what?
I'm proud of you.
Every intervention has its day, right?
Yeah.
I think. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you for listening at home, guys. We love you. Thank you so much. And with that being said, thank you for listening to
I'm gonna start talking to you in the middle of the podcast, like just throw little daggers at you.
I feel like the goal is that we should all be talking to each other. So I feel like you're not doing anything out of line by looking at it, like making eye contact and having a conversation. I feel like is that what we're doing?
That's what. And
Fantastic.
As a man with little to no confidence, I like to stare at the floor and talk to people.
I think I have something in my notes here. Hold, please.
please.
I just got to shuffle my papers into the microphone.